Warning. Following content may contain elements that are not suitable for some audiences. Viewer discretion is advised. Welcome back to the Bard's Playhouse Presents Tales from Shadow Valley, Season 3, Episode 9. Are you good Lich or a bad Lich? Thank you so much for joining us. Now let's bring in our wonderful cast. We have Eldritch as Khan, the Bloody Rizzolo.
Always great to be here.
Shane as Umbromancer Zavid.
I've got 99 problems, but a Lich ain't one.
Take a hero point. Yeah. Say it right off the bat, right now. Ed Elliott as Reese the Heartseeker.
Oh boy, daddy issues, right?
Yeah, right. As always, I'm Lumpy Bronzearm and will be your DM for today. Last time, Lux Et Umbra left the Pirate Cove beneath the Hor-Aha Lighthouse. Their newly raised skeletal sea dragon friend, Cecilikash, agreed to lead them to his hoard as a reward for giving him a second chance at unlife. Cutting through the water upon Cecil and Rottrot, several scuttled ships came into view. The coast of Graves is a well-known locus for abandoned and sunken ships. Beneath the surface, a deep blue hole was bordered with a cleanly bisected boat. Not wanting to take any chances, Khan and Zavid cobbled together a watertight bottled lightning and hurled it down the pit. A moment later, a massive bobbit worm erupted from below, jaws gnashing. However, Lux Et Umbra made quick work of the disgusting, opportunistic predator. Down they sank into the darkness below. Khan showed off the light spell her familiar pipette recently taught to her to help everyone see better. Within the cavern was piles and piles of glittering gold, gems, statuary, and 2 elaborately decorated boats. After some investigation, and a little magic, Reese discovered that these were the funerary boats of an ancient pharaoh named Ma'at. Much to Reese's shock, the labyrinth he dreaded seeing so much was built by this very dead royal. With her Jinn allies of all elements, Ma'at raised the city of Shiman-Sekh from the sands to protect an imprisoned creature named Zalishkar. Evidence began to pile up that Reese's adopted father, the Goblin King, was not all he claimed. Signs point to him perhaps being an Ifriti, a fire genie charged with the protection of the labyrinth. Needing more answers, Zavid began a ritual to resurrect Ma'at, not realizing that she was not truly dead. As her soul rushed from the golden death mask into her body, Zavid realized that Ma'at was indeed a lich. Thankful to the group, the pharaoh and self-described God King offered much useful information about Shiman-Sekh and the labyrinth beneath. Wanting to get back onto dry land, Lux Et Umbra, Ma'at, and Cecil swam up and out. Upon the horizon are the golden domes of the Lotus Palace of Shiman-Sekh and the massive wind wall that stands between. That's where we're coming in today. It is past sundown. All of you are outside the city a little bit of a ways. You can sort of see it upon the horizon. You've pitched a tent next to a sand dune. Reese had a 4-person tent, so it was no problem there. And Khan was able to get a fire started with just plenty of caustic chemicals, plenty of stuff to get a fire started in the desert. No problem there.
Yeah, the fire gives a little bit of like residue on your skin and face where the smoke touches you, but other than that, it's cozy.
Yeah, it's warm. It's oddly hot for a fire this small.
Also, I would like to note Reese doesn't know he's adopted.
That's
just for the viewers to know. Reese doesn't know he's adopted. DM does.
Yeah. So as you're sitting around the fire, Ma'at sits near you in lotus position, cross-legged but with her feet on her thighs. It's a yoga pose. Looking deeply into the flames, and with a snap of her fingers, she summons from thin air a beautiful wooden stringed instrument with a smooth, curved, black lacquered neck. It is called I'm not sure of the pronunciation here. It's either a Benet or a Benet harp, but it's an Egyptian-type harp. Not important, just thought I would share. And she begins to strum a haunting but beautiful melody. Silvery wisps of magic dance with the campfire's smoke as they coalesce upon the flames. The song's magic forms a solid cooking stone with thin strips of meat and root vegetables upon it. Next to each of you, stone drinking cups appear and fill themselves with cool, clean water. As she continues to play, Ma'at looks up and says, "So tell us, Umbromancer, is it? Your skills at necromancy are unmatched, surely. However, You admit to the target of your worship with a sigh of disdain. Do you often find yourself apologizing for your god?
Zvi takes a drink of this clean water, and despite how clean it is, the residue from the chemicals are starting to leave burns on the side of his face, and small tumors are growing. He's gonna get cancer for sure.
For sure.
He's just like, well, oh, and he backs up a little bit. And then, like, you know how wherever you go with the fire
Yeah.
like follows
The
you.
smoke
So
follows
that's
you,
like
yes.
what's so that's kind of like he's like, wait a minute, hold on, fuck, and so he's like kind of stalling a little bit as he's like trying to get to a spot where the smoke isn't in his face. But then he finally says, "My relationship with my god is contractual. He grants me powers and abilities to enact his will. And sort of that's what I get out of it, is the powers and abilities. And then I have to perform services for him in order to keep this. It is not a disdain for what I've gained as much as it is a sustain for what it has cost me."
We see. Is necromancy not accepted in your time?
Well, I grew up in a very secluded sort of family that it was the way of life where I was, but I learned very quickly when I came here. No, it's not accepted. At least not by common folk. They're afraid of anything that has to do with the dead. More enlightened folks have been better about this. Even some of the gods that are typically very upset about the idea of the undead have given us a pass because of what we're doing. Knowing that by the end of this, the undead will not remain any further and the state of the world will be protected. Sort of a it's like I read a book about going, family goes to their mother-in-laws and they have to pretend to be happy even though they really hate it. It's kind of like what's going on with Sarenrae and the others.
Ah, yes, that a dubious alliance, to be sure. However, in our time, our pantheon has much room for necromancy in day-to-day life, for is it not just control over life and death? It is both sides of this coin.
That's what I'm saying. I've been... Look, okay, here's what I would say. To not invalidate the fears of those that feel necromancy is dangerous. It is true that most people that get really good at necromancy do so illegally because of how shunned it is. And so those who are willing to go to illegal lengths tend to be bad people and use it for bad things, which keeps it illegal. There's a thrill that comes of having a power that others don't have. It's sort of the forbidden fruit. Ooh, I'm not supposed to be raising a zombie, but I am. Ooh, look at me, right? But I never looked at it that way because it was never like that for me. It's as a means of survival most of the time, and also a realm of study I like. If someone else doesn't like it, okay, go away. Like, I'm not taking over your city with an army. I don't care about your stupid little stinky city. All right, I'm doing my own thing. Just leave me alone, right?
In a way, necromancy has allowed us to continue our life. Our clerics were worshippers of Nephthys, a goddess of undeath and life. Have you heard of Nephthys?
Nephthys?
Nephthys with a P.
It sounds similar to Nethys. I know this is a goddess of magic, I think.
Yes, Nephthys, the god of magic, similar. And she begins to play a different tune. She strums a little faster on her harp, and the sand kind of swirls up and forms on the sand some hieroglyphs that look like this. It's two people who look almost identical in mirrored poses standing in between another figure. and she says, I assume you have heard of ISIS on the right here.
They've caused
ISIS
a
is-
lot of trouble. ISIS,
Yes,
a
so we have
terrible
heard.
group of people. Awful. Sorry, I couldn't help myself.
That is ISIL.
Mm,
However,
True, actually. Yeah.
Isis's twin sister, Nephthys, here on the left, she carries the world basket of water upon her head. She represents life and death, both the transference between. Perhaps you should look into her dogma.
Nephthys?
Nephthys. Nephthys.
From a purely academic standpoint, understanding necromantic deities is a very important thing for me. It is one of the tenets of our faith, is to understand necromancy and all of its inner workings. It's also a good idea for my current god to know his competition. So I will look this up.
Be mindful. Though she is powerful in her own right, she is the sister wife of Set. And Reese, that immediately sets triggers off in your brain. I
yeah.
assume even Elliot knows about Set.
Yes.
Sister wife?
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Set married his sister?
No.
Yes, it is.
I mean,
quite,
yes, but
quite common in the culture of royal deities.
very incestuous.
Alright, cool, I guess. Look, I grew up in a cult, and even I think that's weird.
She laughs at that.
I mean, you're not wrong.
It echoes around the dunes. We suppose it is bizarre if you're of different cultures, but yes, perhaps she could enlighten you or the masses a little bit. The mistress of the mansion has many powers. Now, before we lay down to rest, I need to ask, how do we plan to enter the city? The wind wall is quite a formidable enchantment, as she keeps strumming.
Well, city is a good idea, at least so we can... Well, I want to see how things have panned out in the last 50 years, and just do a quick check if anything. Honestly, quietly, if possible, don't make too much of a, hey, we're new in town, because, well, me and you were not. But...
Oh, my dear. I raised the town from the very sand dunes themselves.
Exactly.
I was hoping you would have the answer to the wind wall, since this is your town.
Wanted to simply see if you had an answer yourself.
Can we,
However,
I mean, how high is the wall? Can you fly over it, or is it like a dome more than a wall that goes over the city?
it is more of a dome, yes. However, I can bring it down, yes. It is nominally to keep the sand out, but there are many enchantments within the city that are put in place to either keep people out or keep people in and stupid.
Would Reese know just from knowing how to enter?
No,
No. Okay.
no, you don't know how to get in and out. In fact, you're suddenly realizing that you never went through it ever. The only time you ever remember leaving Shiman-Sekh is when you left through the labyrinth.
Yeah. Okay. That makes sense.
And
So-
she says to you, mind you, there are also many mental enchantments you should be aware of. The labyrinth was constructed to house a devil, Zalishkar. And we wanted to not allow just any common rabble within the labyrinth, because they would simply die. It is very formidable. Your average commoner walking within would not last 10 minutes. We wanted to weed out the chaff, so to speak. The palace upon which the palace sitting upon the labyrinth is, well, it is a pleasure palace that is meant to distract. It is meant to keep you within. It has enchantments to make you forget things, to stop questioning things. Perhaps and she looks to Zavid and Khan and she says, did you ever wonder why this one never questioned why his father, a goblin, is older than he, a century-old elf? Why did he never question this?
Yeah, that keeps getting weirder and weirder.
And Yeah, suddenly, Reese, you realize, yeah, why did I never question that? I know that goblins don't live that long. And it's kind of clicking, like, there's a lot within the palace and the city that's just fun and distracting, and
Oh, yeah.
you kind of forget where you're at. You kind of get into kind of a lulled state, and you're kind of, the more you think about it, the more you're realizing that yes, that's actually quite true.
That's why, like, when Reese was warning a lot about it, it's just like things change all the time and you can get stuck easy. Was what he was trying to pretty much convey in the past. Be like, no, you don't understand. Things change. That's why it's so hard to get out, and that's why his dad was basically like, "Heh, good luck getting out." Because one, he can't get out, but two, also Reese knows it's really hard to keep focus.
Yes,
I didn't know it was going to be such a mental thing. Perhaps, Ma'at, if you could be so kind, do you have any sort of magical enhancements you could grant us to help us withstand these mental enchantments?
Believe so. Let me think a moment. Which means let me read my her spells. Yes. I can make you more quiet. I can make your attacks strike more true. I can make you more defensible. I can make you more hardy. Can if we have enemies, I can distract them, make them do things that we wish. And well, I can also see through walls if need be.
That'll be nice. Yeah, no, the quiet thing I can help with. That's not an issue. But the rest sounds very, very needed. Especially
The
seeing
bloody
through
one
walls.
seems very sneaky.
Yes. Between the both of us.
People will say things about me, and they're often true if they're kind.
Yes.
As I always say, one is only as powerful as one's title. The bloody suits you well.
Khan was trying to stay cool, but can no longer stay cool if, like, an ancient lich is saying that she's a badass.
Yeah.
And here's the thing. You weren't here for this. Do you want to know her full title?
Yes.
Her full title is Ma'at, Pharaoh of the Song, and Sovereign God King of all warmed by Ra.
Yeah.
So that's a title and a half. So yeah, she's telling you that you're kind of a badass and you have a really sick title. Essentially what she's telling you.
Yeah. She's just being polite.
Yes, being royal and polite about it.
Don't be reductive. This is not just politeness.
Now, you say that there is a coming conjunction, yes?
Mm-hmm.
And the end of the world, so to speak.
Potentially.
She looks up at the stars and her eyes kind of go black. You see sort of stars in them, and she says, "My goodness, I've been asleep for nearly 8 millennia, it would seem. Well, it is kismet that you have brought me back when you did, it seems. If you restore me back to my throne, if we can get rid of that thing beneath my city, you can have my aid in this coming end. We will make it not an end."
That'd be very helpful, and I'd be honored just with your assistance regardless.
Very well. Come morning, we shall enter the city. Quietly if you'd like. Or we can make a big splash. And she goes back to just kind of playing her harp.
I think quietly.
Quietly, no. We saved the big splash for my dad.
Very well. Is there anything anyone would like to do before bed?
Ooh. Reese wants to have story time with Maat and ask more about Basset and what they know. Basset from, like, what they recall, like, if there's anything, like, maybe they want to know that they should keep in mind, but, like, not like a, I want to overpower you, but just, like, an embarrassing, like, story.
Let me see here. Skills. Performance. Because she's a bard and she can do that.
Yes.
Yes, Ma'at is able to. She continues playing, and as she does, begins to sing a song about Bastet. And again, it's haunting, and the rhymes come out naturally. And I'm not going to try and freestyle right at the moment because
Oh.
I'm not very good at that. But
Aw,
she rolled a
damn
36
it.
on her performance check. Yeah, I hadn't thought that through enough. But she tells a story of Bastet as she was a young kit, because I believe Bastet is a cat god, correct?
Mhm.
Yeah. When Bastet was a young kit, and Hathor would tease her by throwing her into the river over and over because cats hate water so much. Uh, but it is essentially a parable that ends with the lesson of be kind to your siblings, as all of these types of religious parables have to have some sort of message at the end. But it comes down to familial respect.
Reese is just enlightened and just like is satisfied. Like, that's awesome. Not for Bastet, but like that's a story I don't think many people would know. Thank you.
Of course. Okay, is there anything else you want to do before you sleep? No? Cool.
I'm
Okay.
thinking,
Oh.
how about this? I wanna huddle up while she's singing her song. I like gesture to
Sure.
Khan and Reese, like, come on.
She's really in the zone, eyes closed, very into the melody.
I say, all right, look, we need to hold each other accountable tomorrow. There are going to be all manner of fun, cool things. And I recall very vividly how distracted I became in Absalom. I'm usually very good at withstanding magical effects, but if there is no magic and I'm relaxed, I can get distracted. Just for myself. So I am counting on you two to hold me accountable, and I will do the same for you. We must keep our mission the top priority. Anything that looks really interesting or fun, we have to say, we'll do it later. We'll do it later. Right? Like don't say, no, we can't, but just be like, not right now. Right? That way, if there's some sort of enchantment that is trying to pull your attention away, it's like, oh, now it's something to look forward to instead of trying to resist doing it all together.
Is this how you talk yourself down when you have your dragon sickness?
Yeah, it works though. It actually
You
does
know
help.
what? I respect, honestly. That's why I ask.
Yeah, it seems like a good system.
And with all three of us trying to help each other, I'm thinking we could even tie ropes around our waists.
I don't think
I
that.
was thinking the exact same thing. Yeah,
It'll
you
be
know,
in the-
weird.
Labyrinth,
but it would
yes.
work.
City, no.
All right. I think
We just-
funny enough, I think it's easier to get lost in a city than a labyrinth.
Alright, we're just gonna hold hands then.
Okay. Make sure you
because
wash your hands in the morning, though, because
I'm not holding your hand.
you just said we're holding hands.
Everybody is holding hands, but I don't want to hold your hand. I have to keep my appearances.
What does
for-
that mean?
The runaway prince looking slimy through the city does not look good. No
I am
offense.
not slimy. Excuse you.
And Reese bends over to, like, Zavid, like, eye to eye, runs a hand through the hair. What's this?
That's called oils, natural oils that your skin has and Khan's fur has.
Uh-huh.
The only one here who doesn't have natural oils is the one who can't produce them anymore, and I gesture to the Lich.
However, we
with
do have
the-
anointed oils, and she
Anointed.
points to her face, and the moon shines on her, and she glows.
Oh. Mwah. Reese
You just used the same hand to touch my hair to do
No,
that.
that's Elliot doing
Clearly
chef's
doesn't
kiss.
bother you.
That's Elliot doing chef's kiss, not Reese. Reese just, like, looks at his hand and, like, taps Zavid's face and, like, smears it a little bit, just like, There you go. Anyway.
Well then, are you going to hold hands with anyone?
Yeah, she's covered in blood half the time.
Yeah.
I assume we're gonna take a bath beforehand.
So then it's not gonna be a problem then. If I take a bath and then I'm not covered in oil or grease or whatever you want to say, slime. You called me slimy. Out of game, Shane calls Zavid slimy all the time.
Oh, I know.
Zavid, this is the first time he's hearing it and he's offended. I'm not slimy, how dare you?
This is just my natural coat.
Yes.
Hilarious. It's my natural musk.
Yeah.
I don't think he'd say that. That's a step too far.
Yeah, right.
I think
Ugh.
no, Reese just goes, I think if anything, you and Khan link arm in arm, and I link arm in arm with Matt, and at least if I'm traveling with a pharaoh and people recognize me, it's suspicious, but it's still a little less suspicious because we just look like people who are I can get off my royal essence of sorts and disguise myself easily.
You're giving this explanation. I just heard it kind of like, he doesn't want to hold hands with me. It's fine. We can go. It's all right.
My feelings aren't hurt at all.
Yeah. I'm holding back tears. I'm not upset. I thought we were friends, but okay.
No, we're friends. Reese is just like, I gotta get my appearances up.
I mean, we could all, disguise ourselves as royals, and then it wouldn't look suspicious to all dance.
That is true.
We
It
have
is
illusion
very
magic.
incestuous.
We have illusion magic. We could do this if you would like.
You know what? Let's actually do that.
Here is
I
a
want
thought.
I want to look like big hats with a big feather on the top right, and then I want sort of a sort of shawl type cape that I can swing around. I
Do
want
you
to ride on
wanna-
top of an elephant
I was about
and
to
a
ask.
song be sung as I enter the city.
Make way for Prince
We tend
Zavid.
Yeah.
We have never liked elephants too much. How would you like a leopard? A team of leopards carrying you upon a litter. Out of character, a litter is one of those things that dudes carry on their shoulders. There's no better
Ah.
word for it. I looked. It's either called a sedan chair or a litter.
Litter sounds cooler.
It just sounds like cat litter to me. But anyway, that's what that is. It's those things that you sit in that people carry on their shoulders. Litter.
That would look very cool.
Mm-hmm.
We could parade you through the city.
That would be a good way to...
Some say the best way to blend in is to not.
That's exactly what I was about to say.
We
I
love
just-
pomp
it
and
also
circumstance.
We would be the distraction. We would not get taken in by anybody else's thing because we'd be so preoccupied on our own thing.
Precisely.
And it's the best way to view the city, get an eye lookout.
Hell yes. Could I, during the rest,
Mm-hmm. Last chance to switch out any of those spells if you want last minute.
I was thinking do a ritual.
Hmm.
So here's the thing, this is really wishy-washy, but I would like to do a sort of dance macabre like the 5e spell.
Okay.
So that we could illusory them as servants.
Mm-hmm.
If she's doing some sort of seeming to like give us all disguises, then she could do that on these like skeletons that I spent a ritual raising.
Yes.
It would be essentially an extended animate dead until we got to where we need to go, and then they would disanimate. So it wouldn't be a mechanical thing, it would be completely just for the parade.
Totally into it.
Okay. That's
Yep,
what I'll
yep.
do then. I'll spend
Definitely.
time like sort of summoning these skeletons and getting like as many as I possibly can while still getting a rest in and preparing my spells for the next day.
Ma'at will actually help you by playing macabre, dissonant, discordant tunes as you do this ritual.
Ooh, hold on,
That's-
you say that.
You switching music or something?
Yeah.
Yes, and her music, the tunes, the silvery wisps come out of her Bennett harp, and they intertwine with the smoky shadows of your magic to double the amount of skeletons you're able to raise. Because I like this idea.
Should I roll
Or
for
not
how many
skeletons, spirits or whatever. Spirits.
Yeah, should I roll?
Yeah, do 2d20 and then double it. No,
All
1d20.
right.
Yeah, 2d20
Well,
and double it.
Awesome.
You make 50 spirits, let's say. They're all like 1 hit point, 0 AC, no saving throws, spirits, no attacks. But I'll say they're somewhat corporeal in that, like, if someone just kind of touches them as opposed to an attack, that they'll seem real, you know? But
Yeah.
they're still essentially like spirits. Love that.
And then Ma'at and I have like a conversation of like, all right, so these 10 should be the bakers, and then these 5 should be the royal the royal coin makers, and then these should be yeah. So each one, there's like a group, with 40 elephants, so each one has like this sort of role. There's the bannerets and the fucking swirling scimitar dudes in the front going, make way
for Prince of Veed. Yes, 100%. I'm just adding to a map here just before we do that. So anyway, she helps you raise all of these, and she's slowly disguising them with her illusion magic, weaving it in and out with you. And again, you're discussing what you want where, who you want, what kind of animals there are. Some of these spirits are taking the form of animals, because you've just been raising anything that will be here. They're hardly even more than an illusion.
Yeah. Reese is the actual prince, not Zavid.
Oh yeah,
Reese
but
okay.
Reese absolutely is the prince. But if Zavid wants to take role of a prince,
as a distraction,
he does.
Okay, then yeah.
If you want him to, if you, he's got a decent charisma. If you want him to be the one taking the eyes off of you, then
yeah, because we'd be taking the eyes off of Khan and Reese, or even just Reese if Reese wants to sneak in by himself.
Reese does not want to be known.
Okay.
Then I think we should do Prince Zavid.
I am here for Prince Zavid.
I need to know Khan's thing. Khan, are you just gonna be yourself and juggle? Are you just gonna be one of the jugglers, or?
Khan's ego couldn't possibly let Zavid stand her up. Like, it'd be more important than her. So... Or should she swallow her ego just this once and be like, I am the loyal captain of the guard.
Wait, what's your god's name?
Lao Shu Po?
Lao Shu Po, yeah.
Right. Oh, that's right. Okay. The 2 sister gods. What are they called again? It's Nephthys and...
Nephthys and Isis.
Okay. So, what if we disguised ourselves as just human versions of them and created our own persona of like, because we would look really... I would have to work on my voice a little bit.
Oh, wait, then Reese can actually be the dog thing in the middle. And disguise themselves.
Whoop, shit. Yes, true. Yeah, you can all have disguises. That's not a problem at all.
We should do like our own like modern take of those 3, and of course having Matt with us.
Or she could do that, and you can sneak in.
That's true.
True. Whatever Reese really. This is Reese's.
Yeah, Reese is kind of Reese. Whatever you want to do.
Yeah.
If you want to sneak in, if you want to be part of it, what do you want to do?
You know what? I think Reese wants to sneak in and have everybody else be center of attention, because Reese just wants to like do a check, because Reese knows next to Ma'at, but Ma'at more so knows like the old, not the new. So Reese more so needs to look and see where everything seems to be versus when he left. Even though he's never been in the city, there's still the Osirian that he knows and everything else.
Alright, I have an idea for Ma'at then.
What's that?
Instead of just copying these 2 goddesses, let's just turn us into sort of kind of like fusion in these sort of pseudo-Egyptian style dress that the people of Osirian wear, but like a fusion of us and our god. So like, have me look like this sort of Kubriri-ish looking kind of, you know, give me another like foot or two on my height, and just have me look like this demigod looking dude. As for Khan, make Khan like a medium-sized, kind of like Bastet is like a cat goddess, but just rat goddess instead. Like a Lao Shupo scion, you know? That would be kind of fun.
That would be fun, yeah.
Hey.
You can have like multiple arms too as part of your disguise. So you've got like, you're doing like all these sort of like Shiva type, you know, like poses.
6 arms.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, that is very cool. Okay. So as you're coming up with this amazing plan, yeah, Ma'at has a scroll that's floating in the air. Then there's a quill that's taking notes in ancient Assyriani. It's making little hieroglyphs on her papyrus, I suppose it would be, not a parchment.
Yeah.
And yeah, so and I think that's where we'll sort of like fade to black for morning, because I've got stuff prepped now. Fabulous. So
Perfect.
come the dawn, you see that Ma'at is already awake when all of you come up. And Zavid, you immediately realize that's because she's undead and they don't need to sleep. So,
Yeah.
and when you see her, she's casting her illusion magic on all of the spirits, shaping them into the animals, shaping them into the bakers, jugglers, candlestick makers, all of that. The people who throw fake coins that are probably not actually going to be worth anything. That kind of
No,
stuff.
we
None of
give
that?
them real coins.
Oh, real coins? Okay.
We have the
Th-
money.
this needs
Stick
to
the
be-
bit.
Yeah,
Stick to
they
the
might
bit.
not be real. Let's make sure they don't get like coins that
Cool.
turn to dirt later. You know what I mean? Like we got the
Alright.
money. We could do that.
True
Yeah.
enough. You do have. Oh, that's right. You have that a bag of holding that Cecil gave you
Yeah.
with a gazillion coins in it. So yeah, okay, real gold, real jewels, for the people. Real bread. I would. Yeah. Ma'at can cast create food and water, so she would make bread and such.
Some of
to
the
give to them.
beggars there can get.
Mhm,
Yeah,
mhm.
exactly. Some of the hungry children, the
Hungry
orphans.
children, beggars, street rats.
I
Riff
don't
raff,
buy
I
that.
don't buy that. If only they look closer. Sorry.
Okay. So is there anything specific any of you do when you wake up? And again, Shane, last chance to swap spells out.
I wouldn't swap anything out. I think I'm pretty satisfied with what I have. I think some of the stuff that lasts 24 hours, I'm under the impression that we are going into the labyrinth today. So
Mhm.
I'm going to cast stuff that lasts
yeah, buff
24
up if you
hours to
have
just
to.
have it up. Yeah.
And let me see what Ma'at
And I have to
has.
look what that up is. So, or look what that is up, rather.
Right. What is that? Nope. I just want to see if there's anything that Ma'at wants to cast on any of you right now. Doesn't look like it. No. Okay. What's that?
Can we go to intermission?
Sure, yeah.
Okay.
We'll be back in just a minute, yo. Hope you'll join us.
Yeah.
Hell yes.
1. We're live.
Hey everybody, thanks, we're back. Thank you for joining us. When we last left off, Lux Et Umbra was taking the night off after having planned their way into the city of Shiman-Sekh. Looks like they're going for the route of loud distraction while Reese sneaks in, so this should be fun. We'll see what happens here. So they set off to bed. In the morning, Ma'at, the pharaoh Lich, was disguising all of the newly raised spirits that Zavid had brought forth the night before, making them into the forms you requested: bakers, dancers, people to throw gems and coins, acrobats, jugglers, people of all kinds, animals, everything you can think of to get ready for your entrance here. And as the sun rises, you get closer to the wind wall, the western edge of the city. And just as you can see here, there's a vicious wind of sandstorms that whips left and right, all up as high as you can see. Just out, but just through that, you can see large stone pillars with seated pharaohs carved out of the rock and leading to a straight walkway. There's no bridge, there's no gate or anything of the sort. The only thing standing between you is these whipping winds and this sand. Ma'at says to you, "When we had this city built, the Shaitani, the earth genies, raised it from the living rock below. It was the genie that made this wind wall. However, we can take it down. Are you all ready?"
Ready as I'll ever be.
Yeah.
Very well. She begins to play on her harp again. Trumpets begin to sound. Thaumaturgy and bullhorn, all sorts of cantripy loud spells are going off all at the same time, Zavid, that you recognize. And with the cacophony of noise, the wind wall dissipates. And before you, you see the entrance to the city of Shiman-Sekh, which I can add you to. Just 1 second here. So yeah, now you can go ahead and close that one out, and I'll share this new one here with you. This is more of the map we're going to be on.
Darkness.
Yep, should be darkness up at the top, but then a visual down at the bottom.
I see. Yes. Oh, hold on. Wow, there's a big image. Sorry.
Yeah, there's a lot here.
Oh.
Had to add some things. So I'll just describe while it's trying to load. Or maybe I'll just get rid of the mask.
No.
Screw it.
Okay, yeah. Get rid of the mask.
That work?
Good idea, yeah.
Okay. So now do you see things?
Yes.
Yes.
Wonderful. So as you're entering through this main tunnel of the city, you see there's a bazaar here. It's a marketplace. There are people bustling everywhere. Their smell of spices fills the air. You hear people bartering and trading goods. And as the trumpets sound, people's heads turn. And what you notice... Oh, give me perception checks in the tower, please.
Well, we're rolling
Reese,
through. Can Reese do a stealth as well?
Yes, Reese do stealth instead, actually, because the thing that they may or may not notice, Reese already knows.
Yep.
Fantasy Grounds is not responding for me, so...
Oh no.
I'm waiting.
If you need, I can try and roll you your perception.
That'd be helpful.
Sure. There we go. Okay. Khan, you happen to notice that actually kind of makes sense because you're a small creature. You notice that everyone in this town is a goblin.
Oh.
Some are hobgoblins, some are a little bit taller. If you look around in that map up at top, you'll see there are goblins of all shape and sizes within this city. A little bit more on the darker side, because this is obviously a desert, than you're used to seeing. But yes, the city is filled to the brim with goblins and goblinoids, hobgoblins, things of that nature. But the most important thing being, in the top left corner of our screen, and I didn't put you guys on here, that was dumb of me, pop. We have, upon the royal litter, Zavid and Khan and Ma'at standing beside. Or Connor, you are up on there with him, correct?
Yeah.
Yes.
We're supposed to be, equally important in this facade.
True enough. Reese, you can place yourself anywhere you want on the bottom left column, anywhere north-south that you want to start out with.
Like around, like this area.
The left column. So
Where's
anywhere
left
like
column? Drag me.
here, there,
Okay, that works too.
that black line. Anywhere
Okay.
you want on that black line.
It's gonna hide right in there.
Cool. Right up in that like palm tree area.
Mm-hmm.
Wonderful. I've the best I could do for the parade is these little spirit tokens. In the game, they are not actually clear and blue. These are supposed to represent the spirits that Zavid and Ma'at have made for all of you. So, as this parade is going through the city, all of these people are dumbfounded, looking at what is happening here, and we can move this as well. It is mobile. What are you two doing as this parade is happening through the city?
Well, I know if I'm looking like this sort of, I probably look like with the skin, like the ashy gray skin of Zavid, and then the like, I'm imagining the sort of muscle tone of like a really powerful, really tall ghoul, sharp teeth and red glowing eyes, probably not unlike a lot of these goblins we're looking up and seeing a little bit of similarities there, at least superficially.
Very much, yes.
I guess I would just like sort of pose and kind of look really strong and kind of scary to try to see if I can get any respect out of these goblins as we're like moving through. But I wouldn't be doing too much. I might just, if I see like guards, like might nod at them or something like that.
Oh, you're muted. Lumpy.
Thank you. You do notice one Zavid. This is just fun because I happen to have it. With your spiky teeth and your red eyes, and you're kind of showing off your teeth. You're showing them your teeth. There is one goblin in particular you notice who takes notice of you and like kind of gives you a yeah. Like seems really excited that you're wandering through here.
In response to that, in that direction, to all who can see, I'll go like that to try to rev up the crowd a little.
Give me diplomacy or society, whichever you want. Your choice.
Let's see, what do I got
Diplomacy,
here?
society, or deception. Any of those
Or
three.
performance, maybe.
Or performance. Yeah. Any of those.
Diplomacy,
would be great. Just
society.
not...
Society is my best one. So
Okay,
could I do that?
I'll take that. Just like knowing goblin society and knowing that would be a good thing to do.
Is that tower?
Could I help
Uh,
assist? Like,
how? Because you're trying to be sneaky.
if I have an idea, like, if we rewind time a little bit, like, in our planning stage, would Reese know that this is more than likely a goblin city? That's why he wants to sneak around?
You 100% knew this was a
Then
goblin city.
I want to do that in the sense of giving knowledge from my society to
Okay.
to
Sure.
him.
That makes sense. So yeah, go ahead and roll on society, public, and
Yep.
then we'll see what you can do with that, Svid. Because that checks out.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a critical aid, so you can have a 2 to your society. Roll
And
that.
that was
public.
rolling with an 8.
Yeah, that was with an 8. That's what the mastery perception or proficiency will get you.
Mm-hmm.
So into the tower or just openly?
Now let's see it open.
I'm gonna use a hero point.
Yeah, okay.
Not after you did all that work to fucking help me out. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
What the fuck?
Well,
No,
luckily
I'm
you
sorry.
have an extra.
You do have.
I did get an extra. If I get 3, I think I should just die. Right?
Yeah, right.
All right, that's
Okay.
better.
Okay,
Okay.
that's way
That's way better. And did you add the 2? Yes, you
I did.
Okay. That's it's not on that 1. So
That
yeah,
was- That
Woof.
sucked.
That was
They
really-
killed
that
both
really
of my
sucked.
hero points
That
just
really
for that.
sucked. They do get super revved up, and they actually, some of them begin to follow you because the coins are being thrown, bread's being thrown. So a lot of this crowd is starting to follow all of you. Con, what are you doing as this is happening on the back of these leopards?
Just like kind of looking out with, Khan is not only taller, but has an extra set of arms. So I think, just doing lots of, hand acting with her hands to prove that, wow, I've got 4 arms. Isn't that cool? Isn't that awesome? Isn't that epic, maybe?
Give me
Pretty epic.
performance performance
Yeah.
publicly.
So I'll like haughtily wave to people, maybe point things out, or even just fiddle with my other hands.
Okay, like it.
Yeah, performance. You said.
Performance publicly, yes.
Yes. Gopa.
30, very nice. So they some of the children are like a little, oh, 6 arms, oh, but they're not like scared. It's more of an ooh, oh. So like a lot of the little goblites are really taking a liking to Yukon. And Ma'at is definitely one of the ones who's just throwing bread and throwing skins of water and wine and throwing coins to the masses.
Goblins love that shit.
Yes, Reese, what are you doing? Let's pop over to you while all of this is happening.
So Reese actually kind of wants to do a perception check.
Okay, for what are you looking for?
More so just to see how the structural integrity is looking, if there's any like notice of damage, if there's anything that stands out more than it should.
Like you're looking for like a way to get in the palace that's a structural damage?
Yeah, more so, yeah.
Okay, give me a perception in the tower and a crafting in the tower. Okay. With that ridiculous roll, you remember that there's actually a small grate near the sewer exit that is kind of loose,
Mm-hmm.
and you know that this place, they don't repairs don't happen often, especially ones that are not easy to see and ones that aren't super necessary. But you do know that there's kind of an in and out near a sewer grate. You kind of used it in your youth so you could sneak off into the city.
Yeah.
For youth mischief.
Yeah, pretty much. Not like
but
trying
yeah.
to go away permanently like he was before, but just like that.
Right. Because getting in and out of the city is like the Goblin King didn't like when you would try to do that,
I'd
but
get
he never
caught,
forbade
but-
you. Yeah, like you'd get caught, you'd get scolded, but going into the city was not really a big deal. It was leaving Shiman-Sekh that was the no.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that also probably aids into why Reese is just like, I cannot be seen. They know who I am. They see an elf that has not like aged since. No.
Yeah. Okay, give me 2 stealth or get stealth at advantage. So 2 in the tower, please.
Okay.
Because this parade is that I think is advantage worthy.
On top of me being able to like make myself even more stealthy than normal anyway.
Uh-huh. So yeah, you are fairly certain you were not seen ducking through alleyways, climbing over rooftops, especially because you know goblins and you know that they don't tend to look up very often. So as long as you stick to the rooftops, to the treetops, all that stuff,
Oh yeah.
you do manage to make it to the little inlet near the palace. So let's see here. Continuing on with our lovely little what's the word I'm looking
Procession?
for? Parade. Oh yeah, what's that?
Procession?
Procession, thank you. Procession, parade. Is there any other stuff you two want to do before getting to like the main portion of town?
Nah, just looking cool.
Yeah, I don't want to
Okay.
like. Yeah, I just want to have a welcome reception, get to the where we need to go, and then as we're doing this, I guess I'll say to Khan like, I don't know how quickly we need to dismount and like disappear after we get to where we need to be. But hopefully Reese or Ma'at will lead us. Let's just kind of follow their lead.
Yeah, sounds good.
So would
well,
Reese be in a way that like the others could see where they're going, or they just
probably, yeah.
Okay.
If you'd stuck to the roofs and
Yeah.
told them you were going to stick to the rooftops, the other rest of you could probably follow Reese and have Reese lead towards the palace. And Ma'at would have told you earlier that if you're going to take a parade, just go to the front door. If the guards give you any trouble, or if the Balag Makar gives you any trouble, allow me to deal with them.
makes sense, and Reese just keeps following the path.
Okay. So I just want to this is not a super important map. I just have it and feel like showing it.
Mhm.
This is what the city of Shiman-Sekh looks like from above. You entered from the far left at the wind wall, and you are walking straight east down this main road within the city, down to the Lotus Palace, which is where Reese was raised and where the Goblin King currently resides. So, with little effort, because it's a straight line, you are able to get to the front door of the palace. And that's where I can swap maps here really fast. So, how are you going to get inside while I prepare this?
Reese or the press?
All of you.
Reese is going through that hole.
Okay. Reese is going through a hole.
Reese and his holes.
Wonderful. Reese and his holes. Let me go like that. Perfect. That's actually kind of perfect. What about Khan and Zavid? What are you gonna do here?
Not following into one of Reese's holes.
Yes,
we're not gonna
I
do
mean,
that.
Reese's holes
Not
are
my
a
cup of
place
tea.
that can get a little complicated, so I don't blame you.
Instead, I think I'm looking for Ma'at. I want to follow Ma'at's lead because I think Reese has his own thing he needs to work out with his dad, and I don't want us to kind of get in the way of that. But I
Sure.
do want to be there to back him up if he needs us for backup.
I
Yeah.
gotcha. Okay, so the two of you are dressed really royally, yes?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
as royal as pretty much shirtless, but with that weird like banded kind of neck
Mhm.
thing that a lot of like Assyrian deities wear, and then with like cool bracer type things. But lots
Big
of like
sultan
jewelry, like
turban.
stuff hanging off the ears and like rings on the fingers. So yeah, definitely looking like high class. Other than
Mhm.
that,
And Khan, what does Khan look like? Are you still a rat folk? I know you said you were taller.
Yeah, I'm taller, still a rat folk, but with an extra set of arms. Got I think a bit. I mean, got cloak action going on because I mean, Lao Shupo is the patron of like sneaky thieves and all that.
Yes.
But with like a whole bunch of emerald jewelry, like Shane had said, like
Okay.
the neck piece, the arm cuffs, lots of jewelry all over my rat ears.
I like the emerald aspect of that. That's great.
Yeah.
Ma'at takes a more subdued look to herself. She cast a magic to make her look like she did in life. No longer does that skull face. Oh, I never showed you what she looked like, Eldritch, because you weren't here.
The one that you really, really tried hard for me not to go, but she's hot.
Yeah. So this is Ma'at, the Song
Ah.
Pharaoh. And that skull part of her
She's
face
beautiful.
kind of phases in and out between a normal human face and that skull. It goes back and forth. But she
Gotcha.
casts a spell on herself that makes her look like she did in life. So she's an older woman, maybe 60s, but still very beautiful, clearly taken care of during her life. Long, dark black hair, very smooth skin, but her outfit is less royal than yours. She takes more of a vizier type robes, a staff, a much smaller hat than Zavid has. Because obviously, the larger the hat, the more important you are. Does Khan have a hat? No, you have the hood up, yes?
Yeah.
Okay. So you walk up the main stairs, and the goblins are following you, this mass crowd. The guards are really not stopping you because there's nothing that stops people from going in and out of the palace. The main thing is that it's hard to get into the labyrinth because the palace is so great, and that kind of thing. So when you get to the front door, it is not locked, and here I will share that with you now. It's quite big. You should all be at the far south, but Reese, you're at the south and far eastern
Yeah,
part.
but
You're
over it.
at a
Yeah.
different section. Okay.
And things are
So-
supposed to be black screen.
Yes, a big majority of it's supposed to be black screen.
Okay, cool.
Okay.
Just making
Yeah.
sure so
But you do
audience
see a
knows
little-
and I know.
Yeah, but you do see a little entranceway.
Yes.
Fabulous. So you walk in. I'm going to start with Khan and Zavid.
Yeah.
You walk into this entryway, and it is clearly a palace. The stones are very nicely carved. There's a breezeway, and when you come to this front room, the first thing you notice is there are several guards everywhere. There are 6 goblins up on not a rafter, but a second story that overlooks what is balcony. There's 6 goblins on a balcony above you. Each they have bows drawn with arrows knocked, and there are a couple of hobgoblin guards with staves stationed in here. None of these guards look aggressive. They actually all seem pretty happy to be here. It just happens to be their job to point bow and arrow at anyone who walks in here. So
Yeah.
they don't look like they're ready to pepper you with arrows. But the first person that you see in here standing before you is a short goblin with red eyes and a long yellow robe with blue trim. He holds a leather-bound book. He looks to you and he says, good day. Well met, traveler. I am Major Domo Brahim. I serve the King of Goblins. Welcome to Shiman-Sekh. Your visit is welcome news to us. Who may I say are you? And before any of you can ring in, Ma'at steps forward and she says, behold, we present Prince Zavadhi and Konesu the Bloody, the royals from the far south, here to see the Goblin King. We greet you warmly. And she gives a flourishing bow to the Major Domo and steps aside and bows her head and remains quiet. The Major Domo says, welcome to our land, strangers. And he kind of does this to the goblins, and they lower their bows, but they're all still smiling. A couple of them wave.
I'll wave back.
So he steps forward and he says, yes, what can we do for you? How can Shiman-Sekh be your pleasure? Welcome to the Lotus Palace.
I'm gonna let Khan do the talking, and I'll just give aid checks because my fantasy ground's also bugging out right now, and I'm trying to fix it.
Gotcha. Quick timeout. Was the plan to seek an audience with the king, or to just like draw all the attention towards us so that Reese can find his dad?
Oh, it's not going to be hard to find my dad.
Reese knows exactly where he's at.
I know where he is.
So yeah, it's either, I think it's mostly just get in that room so that you can back up Reese if he needs help, so that Reese isn't alone. I think that was it, right?
Yeah.
Just somehow get yourselves within that room. So getting an audience would do it.
Yeah. Well, we seek an audience with your king. Con is trying to put on like a less coarse voice than what she normally has.
Like a New Yorker trying to sound fancy when they selling you the tea. It's fancy tea.
I love it. So he says,
yes, very well. The king is quite busy, but we can attempt to get an audience with him. Please, follow me. We will see what we can do.
What if I told you that we had valuable information on the coming days? You know, deep, pleasant dangers that he would like to know. You know, to suit.
Danger. Well, Shiman-Sekh knows not much of danger. I am certain that our sovereign would like to hear of this. Yes, please follow me.
I mean, he kind of leads you. If one of you could please control Ma'at as well, please.
Yeah, I got it.
It's a lot for me to move. Walks you past, and as you're walking, you're seeing a lot of defensive structures in this place. There's spike traps and columns, trips, little not sand. Well, yeah, sandbag piles in the way. This guard, he moves out of your way for you. But all of them are very happy, smiling, not in a creepy way like the Kogito Machinist people where they're like, eh. But it seems very natural. These people seem legitimately happy to be here. Just a good day at work, you know? And I want Khan and Zavid to give me perception checks.
All right.
Tower, please.
Can do.
Oh, sorry. You probably meant in the tower. My bad.
Oh, that's okay. But let's see.
We all see
this
how
is not a
poorly
super important, not a super important role. So Zavid, you actually notice it as you're passing across this stairwell here into the next room. You see that there are little tunnels to the left and right that are small. You would definitely have to crouch to get in these, but you think that they could be for the goblins to run in and out to have little pathways that aren't quite so out in the open.
Mhm.
All right, I need to open up more of the map, don't I? There we go. So the Major Domo walks into this little room here with a beautiful fountain in the center. It's a stone sculpture of just a beautiful goblin female, and she's kind of spitting water out into this fountain. And
I like to imagine that the standard of goblin beauty is not like spitting like that, but it's it's like a lot hawking a loogie.
Hilarious. That's canon now. That's exactly what it is. So the Major Domo says,
Yes, we will send a messenger up to the king to see if he's available.
and he claps and sends a little goblin up to the north and says,
Well, while we wait, why not do I not show you around a little bit? And to the west here, we have the martial section. We find that people who tend to like training with weapons like to see this area. Come.
he wanders this way, showing you, and you can see that there's rooms with lots of beds where potentially soldiers could stay.
Mhm.
Down these halls, you start to hear clanging sounds as you enter this room with there's a large hobgoblin giving lessons to a bunch of smaller goblins.
You need to raise your bow higher. You need to aim true.
Giving lessons, and they look up to you and say,
Well met. Can we interest you in a combat lesson today? Is that what we're here for? Yes.
We are here for just a tour. But keep up the good work and all.
and all of the goblins,
Thank you.
and they're clang, 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 clang up against these wooden dummies, just kind of having a great time, peppering them with arrows, hitting them with their swords. All this
The
kind of stuff.
hobgoblin in the center looks particularly like main charactery. What's going on with them? Are they like the biggest, baddest, or like captain of the guard type?
This is
situation?
General Zaki Anan. And the Major Domo says,
Yes. Zaki here is the general of our armies and the main trainer of all of our forces here within the palace. People tend to find her training enlightening and fun. It brings people from all walks.
Very wide head. Go wow.
it's just a Pathfinder asset. I like that.
Yeah, I love these assets. I think they're really
Yeah.
fun.
Mm. So it's continuing to walk around. I'm gonna open up more of this a little bit faster just to save on time. But actually, Reese, that's where I'm gonna jump over to you. That'll be good.
Okay, hold on. Let me go over to myself.
Yes, you're over in the bottom.
For those who don't know, I am
away
in
from me.
control of the screen that you are
Yeah.
seeing on top of it.
Mm-hmm. All right, so are you over at you?
Yep, I am.
Okay, so you know that there's a tunnel that
Mhm.
goes through kind of the sewers and pops up right behind the dry storage in the kitchen.
Yep.
So you come up to the loose panel on the wall, and as you move it, you see that there's boxes in the way.
Yeah.
Some assholes put crates here.
Of course
Shit.
they did.
So you're gonna have to give me a athletics check publicly to see if you can
Oh,
shove
okay.
these out of the way.
Yeah.
You're pretty good at that. So
Oh, yeah. Give me 1 sec. Got another thing to send you. Okay. Either of those things I send you work, whatever you want. I don't care. Now to do the athletics publicly.
yes, please.
That was cocked as that should have been a 14, but
I
is
didn't
that
see it?
I got 23.
23. That's enough. It's not a lot. So, however, because it was so low, you do knock a bunch over, so it's fairly loud. I'll say that's the compromise.
That's fair.
Yeah, it was a low roll, but you knock a bunch over, so it's a loud. As a bunch of boxes fall over,
That sounds
and
about
you
right
can-
for recent.
you can see into what you know is the dry storage of the kitchen in the palace. There's large barrels of wine that some is made here in the city, some is imported from outside, but that's harder to get. There's all kinds of dry goods and whatnot. But a short moment later, one moment, there he is. Short moment later, you hear a noise and someone runs into the room. You have a moment if you want to try and hide.
Oh yeah, I'm going to.
Okay, so give me a stealth check in the tower.
Yep.
Okay. So this goblin comes in, and he's wearing a kind of a white chef hat. He has a big butcher's cleaver in his hand. He's covered in blood. He has he's clearly a chef or a butcher of some kind. He has a long curly mustache and a bandolier of garlic bulbs on his around his chest. And you recognize this guy. This is Garlic. This is the chef that you knew from your childhood. Like this guy has made all your food. Like, you know this guy. But he comes into the room and he says, "Hello, someone there. What is going on?" These damn boxes, they fall over all the time. No. He goes over and he starts picking these up. Fit putain de merde. Speaking in his own language. Putting all these boxes up.
I've never been more intimidated and also endeared to a character so fucking fast. Like, he scares me, but at the same time, I really want him to like me. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I just found this art and I was like, I have to shoehorn this guy in somehow.
Please, he's perfect.
But yeah, he doesn't seem to notice you. He seems to think that a crate just fell over, or a cat may have knocked it over.
So with him kind of like doing that, Reese is gonna take that opportunity to just like, oh fuck, I'm getting out of here while he's still, you know,
Mm-hmm.
boop boop boop.
Okay. So you're gonna go across there into here. So you know that this is the kitchen. There's plenty of food. It smells wonderful in here. He's almost always in here working, making food and such. And now I'll open up a little more. Shazam. The more you get out of here, the more you realize, or the more you're smelling all this food. It's clearly almost supper time. Garlic has prepared the banquet in the North Hall there, and it is, as you can see, covered in tables and tables and tables of food. There's grilled turkey, there's a surf and turf, there's grilled vegetables, there's a cheese plate, there's eggs, there's breads of all kinds. It's a really nice spread. But this is every day at the Lotus Palace.
So Reese is just gonna like walk in there, grab an apple, and then go.
Fantastic. Okay, so this hallway here, it splits off at a T-junction, left and right.
Mhm.
You know that the more direct path is through the center, going left, but you also know that is probably the best way to get spotted.
Mhm.
So at that point, I'm going to jump back over to Khan, Zavid, and Ma'at. So you're over here wandering around, and the Major Domo is very clear, is giving you lessons on the history of the palace, but the kind of stuff that, from what you've heard, is incorrect. Like
The palace was constructed in 3,000 years ago by the forces of the Osiriani.
like just very mundane sounding history, but from the kind of stuff you've heard, incorrect history. And he's showing you these different rooms, and let me move him up this way.
Does he also give goblins credit for everything? Like, it was
Yes.
goblins that built the palace.
Goblins
This
that
is
built the palace. It's all with the hands of goblins.
Yes, very jingoistic, goblin-y.
I take a look back at Ma'at with a little smirk on my face, like they know nothing.
She rolls her eyes. Give me a perception check as you kind of get into this center room, and it's another statue of. In this case, it's a goblin wearing nothing but jewels all over their body, like long chains, ring on every 2 or 3 rings on every finger, a ring on every toe.
Just a dude wearing nothing but jewelry. He's got like a medallion
Actually, yes,
so
that's-
big that it's like covering up his junk tastefully so that you can't see anything.
That is very,
Hilarious.
very
That's-
appropriate.
That's very appropriate. So Khan and Zavid. Okay. Zavid, you spot out of the corner of your eye to the left a spiral staircase that goes down, and you cannot see the end of it.
Oh.
I'm gonna ask. Major Domo. What is this staircase?
That is the staircase to the labyrinth of Shiman-Sekh. Only the strongest of warriors ever delved down there. Oh, my heavens, perish the thought. It is filled with monsters and dangers beyond our wildest imaginings. But they say that if you can complete it, that a minor wish is your reward.
All right. I looked to what's her name?
Ma'at.
And Takan. And I'm like, should we take this guy out now? We found where we need to be. Should we just?
We need to find Reese.
Reese find us.
No, I think you needed to go to find Reese to back him up.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yes. Okay.
We'll
Okay.
just remember what this is. Let's keep playing along.
All right. Okay. So I decide not to kill him. And
out
continue.
of your infinite mercy and grace.
Yeah. After conferring with my council, we have elected to allow him to live a little longer.
Love it.
But yes, many have tried, none have ever left.
Continuing down this hallway. Let me open up more of this map just because it's all mostly the same. As you're coming down this hallway, you see a lot of bedrooms that are nicer than this that they show on the map. They seem to be guest quarters for people to stay long term, and then a storage place. But to the north here, there is actually a large library and a single, very old, kind of raggedy goblin within, walking around the stacks, organizing books. Has like a blue scarf wrapped around their head and it's sort of a chainmail shirt with a long golden chain around the necklace, or as a necklace.
And the Mojidomo says, "This is the library for people who enjoy more scholastic pursuits. They can spend their time within the palace reading. It is magically enchanted to be particularly quiet beyond this curtain."
I love a good library,
I'm purposefully looking away because that's one of the temptations that I think he would want to, and he's just like, not now, later.
Okay.
To see, because he wants to know what they got. There's that sort of curiosity, but he's deliberately not looking into the room to not be tempted by what he sees.
The DC is going to be really low, but give me a will save to not look in the room publicly. Basically, just don't roll a 1.
Hey, I can't guarantee you anything.
I'm just saying, just don't roll a 1. Cool, you're fine. You're able to walk past without looking in at all. Colin, I don't think you would have a similar issue.
Yeah.
So we'll hop back over to race. So are you taking the left or the right hallway here?
Let me find, where am I? Shoot.
Bottom right again.
Oh, bottom right. There we go. He's gonna be taking the right.
The right hallway. Okay. So you know that this is more where the crafty people would tend to go. There's a forge just to your right here that has a young goblin working the forge with a really oversized hammer. He's got blue hair and a little goatee, pierced ears, but he's hammering away at something on this forge like it's like it insulted his mother. Having a good time. So give me a stealth check in the tower to sneak past him. DC's not very high because again he is hard at work at a forge. Okay. Yeah, you do succeed past his perception, so you're able to walk past him without any issues. He's hard at work on something on that anvil. Seems like he's having a great time though.
Mm-hmm.
As you're walking, you see there's another a fountain here that has a goblin holding in one hand like a giant turkey drumstick, and in the other hand is holding a spear. And this is, again, it's a fountain, so it's spitting water out of its mouth.
Of course.
And give me a perception check in the tower, please. Okay. Don't notice anything particularly strange here, but there's a rooms to the right where people can stay, and there's a hallway to the left that you happen to know goes to a small pond, like a central area with a little pond. Do you
Reese
continue
is
north or
gonna go
west?
North.
North. Cool. So this way is a weapons storage facility for the guards and the guard barracks. And then there's this hallway here. But now I'm going to flash back over to Zavid and Khan because reasons.
Oh, God.
There. Oh, it went away. It's fine.
Good.
So the major domo continues walking and says,
Yes, yes.
and he asks, a goblin runs up to him and he whispers something and it runs off. He continues on. There's yet another fountain in here. This time it's of 3 goblins standing on top of each other and pulling a trench coat together.
Amazing.
And the major domo says,
Yes, it would seem that the king is still not quite ready. Could we interest you in a nice treasure swim while we wait?
Pleasure? Swim?
Oh, yes, of course. Let me show you.
and he wanders this way.
As he goes, I turn to Khan and I'm like, "This is your temptation. Resist. Just resist whatever it is."
Okay.
And I'm so happy for this one.
I say
you
with my
now?
dragon sickness,
Are
I
you
forget
now?
about in the moment, thinking,
Uh-huh.
"Oh, this is gonna be a problem for Khan," and then
Yeah.
I'm like, "Wait a minute."
Is it?
So the major domo says,
Yes, the king wants to share the riches and the wealth of the land with his people. So anyone is free to come in and bathe amongst the riches of Shiman-Sekh.
and he whooshes his hand open, and these 2 curtains open, and you just see a massive pile of gold and gems in
Jesus.
both of these rooms, with 2 goblins absolutely covered in jewelry, just rolling around, just swimming in this pile of coins.
I didn't think I was
Making
gonna have to
gold
do
angels.
this so soon, but I am going to cast. And I don't know, is Reese right there? Or is Reese going around the corner?
Reese
Reese
is
is around
just
the
around the
corner.
corner.
All right, let me see something here. I wanna. That really doesn't look that far, but apparently that's 50 feet away. All right, well, I'm going to, as 3 actions, cast Blessing of Defiance. And what that does is all willing allies within 30 feet of me are going to get +4 bonus to their will saves for 1 whole round. And if anything were to deal mental damage to you, you get 15 resistance. This is a 1 round, big spell, a level 5 spell I'm casting, so that we can make our saves here. Because I know that I
It's
might
coming.
have some issue.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I do want both of you to make your will saves with whatever bonus you just said, but Zavid, you have it at disadvantage because of dragon sickness.
Okay.
So
Yeah,
publicly,
what's the
will
bonus?
save. Yeah, what is it?
The bonus is +4.
Nice.
So I got to roll
So
this 2
disadvantage,
times.
but +4. Oh, nice.
Please. Hey, that's still
Not terrible.
okay. Yeah.
Ron, you are cool as a cucumber. You're rich at this point. Like, plus
Exactly.
you're playing a part. You have to keep the part. Like, you can't go nuts seeing. This is a pittance compared to what you have back at your palace, back in your faraway homeland. This is wild pocket change to you. Like, you're cool.
Yeah.
Zavid, this is
Sweat.
sweating. You're sweating at seeing these piles of gold, and you see these goblins just having the time of their life, rubbing themselves with these coins.
I see it in slow motion of them being like, "Come on, join," and I'm
yes.
like,
Just pouring coins down themselves. Yeah, it's tough, but you keep your shit together.
the urge to Scrooge McDuck into this pile.
But Reese, what do you do now? You're hearing something around the corner in this hallway, and you know that this is where the treasure swimming rooms are.
Reese is gonna, like, doesn't know that that's them, so that tips him off, and he goes running down back the other way and goes to the other corridor area that he was. Because again, he's just like, I do not feel like dealing with treasure swimming people. I am just not doing this.
Sure. So you enter into the hallway, and you see that there are several goblins in there. You didn't realize it was this time of day. The dancers are out today. There are a group of several goblin women dancing around the sands, and one in particular is in the very center, dancing upon the top of this pond, as though she might. You assume she cast water walk or something similar. She's ballet dancing atop this sand, and I have pictures I could show, and I may as well show them. I have the art. There are one of them, another one, and this third one is the one that's in the center. They're all beautiful goblins, but dancing around this room, you assume to distract.
Yep.
And check it out. I can do this.
Hey, hold on.
I can make a dance.
So, does it work?
Yeah, give me a will save Reese, to see if you stop and gawk.
That's the question. Do it work though?
Do it still work though? A will save? Public or tower?
Public. Actually, no. You're going to say you failed at 25.
If you only got a little closer, I could have given you that +4.
You're a little gobsmacked.
Okay.
You're
I'm
a
just
little
like
distracted.
Yeah.
In fact, you know what? Here, you are fascinated by these dancers.
Yeah.
Fascinated. So now give me another stealth check. Because now that you have an effect on you to get past them. If you're trying to be sneaky, that is.
I still am, but the urge to get bonked is way too high.
Okay, yeah, you kind of shake yourself out of it.
I've seen tips before.
And you're able to kind of sneak your way past, and there are guards in here, but you know, this is the best guard duty a guard could ever conceivably ask for. So they're a little distracted. You manage to get past them, so we'll just pop you over here. Yep, there you go. And you get to that center fountain there, and just to your right, you do see your friends in Ma'at. And let me see if Ma'at notices you. So that's actually, yeah, all of you, roll perception checks in the tower. To see if you see Reese.
Let's see. Perception check.
Yeah, as I'm like whispering in Zavit's ear that like, calm down, we have treasure at home.
Let's go. Let's pivot. I don't want to continue this.
And then
I just blew a big spell to not run into that room.
Okay, yeah, none of you see Reese, not even Ma'at. So all of you, you decide to go back the other way. Reese, you see them suddenly turn and start walking your way, and the Major Domo in front.
Oh yeah, Reese goes forward.
Okay, and you know exactly where you're going. You know that this is the right place.
Mm-hmm.
You come up the stairwell and enter a large room with a diamond, not real diamond, a diamond patterned floorway with blue lapis lazuli covering the rest of it. And I'm just going to get rid of the whole thing. There are bugbears standing guard up on up on the balcony above. There's a row of goblins holding battle axes in the center, lining the central walkway. There's huge hulking bugbears standing on either side at the far end. And at the very north, you see a magnificent throne made of gold and filigree, decorated to everything. It has braziers on the sides. There are exquisite silks and pillows all over this thing. And on top of it sits an immaculately dressed hobgoblin in white silken cloth with flowers all along it. His crown is gold, amazingly crafted, a huge gem in the center of it, several golden necklaces, earrings, jewels, bangles everywhere on this man. And you suddenly remember from Absalom, Zusgut, the self-proclaimed Goblin King, with the broken sword crown. Remember him? And you can't help but think about the juxtaposition between the two, between Zuskut and this guy. This is the Goblin King.
That's what I was saying. I think Zuska was more like Goblin Viceroy or Goblin, lesser title, Goblin Duke perhaps, but King is a little far.
Yes, so Reese, once you get to there, essentially your stealth means nothing. You can't really hide in this room. So when the Majordomo comes up behind him and says, "Oh,
Goodness me. Who are you?
Do you really need to ask me that? Really?
My goodness. Prince Reese. It is... Where have you been? I need to... Where...
And he just kind of gets really flustered and doesn't know what
I'm
to
gonna
say.
move past him at this point and be like, "Good to see you," and let's kind of motion for us to kind of move forward towards the king.
You guys move
Yeah.
forward like you guys don't know me.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, for the moment, I need to introduce these two foreigners to your father. But where have you been? It is what is happening?
You'll see.
Yes.
And he very confusedly runs north a little bit and past all of you and says, he's out of breath.
Sire, your great eminence, king of all goblin kind and lord of Osirian. May I present to you, Prince from a far-off land, Zavid Rahim, and Onius the Bloody.
He's out of breath from running.
I'll give a bow. I'll bow to this guy.
Yeah, that's a
fine.
lie.
The
So
king.
as that's
Oh, go
going
ahead.
on, I have a question.
Yeah.
Can Reese just like finagle himself up pillar to pillar and just like sneak up on his dad and sit on like the top of that throne?
Unlikely, but give me a public stealth check.
Oh, I'm going to.
This is a very open room with a ton of guards.
Oh fuck, that's gonna be my hero.
Absolutely
No,
not.
I have a hero point. Fuck you.
True, you do.
Hey, do what I did. Get another
Yeah,
nat
get
one.
another one.
Get another nat one and then embarrass himself completely. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Better. I'll say you're able to sneak past the most of the goblins and the bugbears.
Okay.
You can get to maybe
Where?
the long stairs to the left, like these.
Yep, that's fine with me.
Cool. And so as you bow, the two of you, the Goblin King stands up and walks to the end of this balcony, and he says, "Welcome to Shiman-Sekh, visitors. You have business here or pleasure in the palace? What can I do for you?"
Trust me, this is strictly business. You see, we are
Oh.
here to warn you of dangerous times that not only will arrive soon, but some that are already here. I pull out the pamphlet.
Dangerous times, eh? Shiman-Sekh has stood for nearly 8 millennia. We have withstood time and war.
8 millennia? Your majordomo says it's only been here for 3. I think he is a bit misinformed.
Oh, the Majordomo, Brahim, you need to brush up on your history before you speak to our guests with such nonsense. Yes, forgive me, but what can I do for you? And he's slowly walking down, around, it's a very long walk.
Yeah.
And he eventually comes down to meet you, and he is quite tall. He's about 6.5 feet tall, bigger than
Is
any goblin
he
you've seen.
doing that thing with the balls right now? Is he doing
He has
that?
two ruby gemstones in his hand that he's got the Benoits going.
Yeah, I'm gonna take a step back. Like, okay, hold on, sir.
He does like being called that. Careful.
Listen, this is very sensitive information. I do not wish to cause a panic in your followers. Would you perhaps be amenable to a private audience so that we can tell you some sensitive information?
Very well. We can And he looks up and gives a double clap, and every single guard immediately begins to move and walk out of here. But it's going to be much faster to just go like that.
Question: could I do another stealth check and go up to the throne and to sit
Sure,
on it?
yeah, another stealth publicly.
Oh yeah.
We've also got 4 bugbears still chilling.
Oh
in
yeah,
here.
those are tokens.
Fuck. Yeah. Well, we're gonna see how that goes.
So as you're walking, you get to about the side of about, let's say,
Move me wherever.
there-ish, and he ceases talking. And the Goblin King looks to you and he says, "Reese, my boy is back. Why? What brings you home? I thought you hated it here."
I do. But the fate of the world is more important than dealing with you.
Fate of the world? Big talk for such little britches.
Little
Come.
britches? Okay, I'm taller than you, old man.
Perhaps.
Reese
Yeah.
is like 6'8".
Yeah. I forgot the Majordomo was still there. He's gone, and those 2 bugbears are also gone. Blah, and there. Okay. So as all the guards leave, and he's kind of having this conversation with Reese, he says,
Well, never thought I would see you back here again.
Never thought I'd
It
be
seems-
here again.
It seems that there is much more going on than this pamphlet apocalypse, it would seem. Come, all of you, come.
and he makes his way back up to his throne, and he lays in it, putting his arm over like the backside, leaning like it's a fainting couch, just sprawled out along this magnificent bepillowed throne.
Yeah, Reese is gonna just do what he wanted to do anyway. He's gonna go over there, jump up, and just like have his feet draped over the top.
Some things
He's
never
gonna be a little
change, I
shit.
see.
Yeah. Well, I got my seat, so go on.
I'll look to Ma'at to drop our disguises.
She'll wave her hand, and all of you appear as you are.
Let us be candid with you, Goblin King. We needed a certain sort of appearance in order to get through your faithful followers. But what we desire is a audience to discuss the conjunction.
And Reese just hears like, "Oh, we needed a certain disguise." I'm like, "Actually, no, I could have walked through with you guys, but I don't want to be seen or be associated anything with this bastard." And he just like kicks like right next to like his dad's ear.
He twitches it out of the way just in time.
Still trying that one. Little too
And-
slow.
And also, your son didn't want to hold hands with us.
Oh, that
Yes.
is not surprising. He does not
Your
ever hold
son
hands
has
with anyone.
a weird image issue that has no problem putting his hand through my hair to demonstrate how slimy it is, but then doesn't want to hold my hand during the parade, which is a little offensive because I thought we were friends. Let's, I looked at Con like, let's just bitch about the Reese for a minute here. Your son.
And the dad's probably thinking like, "Yeah, this isn't anything I haven't heard before."
Yeah, he kind of does this with his hand, and a goblet of wine appears, and he starts to drink it as he's listening intently. He goes
Yeah.
like that, and one appears in both of your hands as well.
We just do some minor gripes of just
Yeah.
little quirks about nothing crazy, nothing
Yeah.
damning, just like, and another thing.
And another thing, he woke
Sure.
up
some
late
reason,
because he was
thought
getting
that I was-
laid.
For some reason, he thought that I was, the size of an actual rat and not, 12 feet tall, like I am.
He didn't even bother looking. He didn't even bother checking. And when he did, he was like, "Oh, transform the rat?" No.
To be fair, everybody is smaller than me.
Well, yes, he was always a little bit of a klutzy child.
And he pulls out like a stone tablet with a carved etching of like a
Reese goes to
hieroglyph
try
of
and
Reese
grab it.
tripping, Reese like naked
my
and
God.
tripping into a hole.
Reese is gonna try and grab it. Can I do a stealth check to see if I actually like grab it?
Thievery. That's
Thievery.
thievery.
There we
Yes,
go.
public thievery.
I want to fail. Okay, this is.
28. Let's yeah. You kind of go back and forth, and he eventually just lets you take it.
thank you. Puts it in his
So
bag.
my question, how did you come across Reese? Because if you don't mind me saying so, you look nothing alike.
Reese just kind of like looks at Sophie like, oh, I never thought about that. He doesn't say it, but he just kind of looks at him like, why would you say that? Why would you say that out loud? Oh God. But then like shakes his head.
No accusations if you were married and then had a child that looked nothing like you. I mean, that would be alarming to me. It is heartwarming that you have loved Reese as your own no matter what, but
Reese
if
rolls
you
his
don't
eyes.
mind.
Reese came to me at a young age.
What?
And you can kind of, and Reese immediately knows he's thinking up a lie. Like you know him well enough to know that when he goes he's about to lie.
Yeah.
So before, yeah, are you gonna do something or say something?
I want to see if I have anything that I can call his bullshit out.
I have something. You just give me the signal and I'll do it.
Okay, yeah, because he can't see me because I'm above his head. And Reese kind of like makes like eye contact and just like does a small shake.
Like a shaking of his head, no. Okay, then what the king says is, he came to us in a boat of reeds down the river in the oasis, and none of the goblins would take him in, as they are afraid of elvish babies. I took it upon myself to raise him. Any of you are willing to can take perception checks, because I'll tell you out of character, he's bullshit.
I think just seeing the Reese shaking the head,
or that would be enough, I guess.
Yeah. I'll just trust Reese on this one. I am going to
Exactly.
cast a spell called Compel True Name,
Oh.
and I call out to him, Balag Makar, you must not speak a lie to us in our presence. Speak only the truth. So they're gonna have to make a will save. DC, I believe 31. Except, could I actually? I have the fucking cantrip, invoke name or whatever.
True name or whatever. Yep.
Yeah, so I'm gonna do that first. I think that gives me a plus 2 or them a -2 on their roll.
That sounds right. Let's see, Zavid. I have you here. Actions.
Yeah, invoke
Where is
true
it?
name. That's what it is.
Invoke
so
true
they
name,
get
so-
-2
So they get -2. Okay, on a will save?
on a will save. Yeah,
For what?
for the spell compel true name.
And what's the compel do?
You instruct the target to do something, compelling obedience by calling it by its true name. Your instructions can't be self-destructive, but I'm only telling him to tell the truth and speak no lies. Though the spell has the linguistic trait, this applies only to the instructions. The creature doesn't need to even know its own true name to be affected. The target must attempt a will saving throw. So what did it get?
I'm just gonna post it. 22.
That's not a crit fail for me.
I think
Wait
it
a minute.
is. I think it is.
Am I 32 DC?
You are. You're precisely. It's precisely a crit fail.
So that means the target does as you command. The spell has a duration of 8 hours on a crit fail, or until the target has completed a finite instruction or instructions that become self-destructive. The creature is temporarily immune to further casting of the spell for 1 hour, but if it's actually because it crit failed, it's not immune at all. So this truth lasts 8 hours. He cannot lie to us for 8 hours.
Yeah, Reese uses...
That only worked. It was only a crit because of the true name thing.
Okay, good. And with that, I'm going to look over to Ma'at. God King Ma'at, would you please talk some sense into your employee here?
And like, when you do that, Reese has the other leg and kicks the other side and says, bullshit.
He doesn't twitch his ear out of the way this time, and Ma'at takes a step forward, dropping her facade of the vizier, showing herself in all of her previous glory as she looked in life. And the Goblin King's eyes go as wide as saucers, and he drops down to his knees and says, "My Pharaoh, you are back. I have waited so long. Please, save me from this hell. Tell me you have found the ones. Tell me these are the ones." And she just smiles and says, "Do as they ask, Balak Makar." And he shakes his head, yes, yes. And he makes some motions with his hands, and a giant geyser of flame shoots up from the floor, surrounding him. And he disappears.
Let's see the true form. This isn't even my final form,
and before
baby.
you stands a tall, 8-foot tall, red. Come on, give me the picture. There it is. Red armored, red skinned Ifriti with long, curly black horns coming out of the top of his head, a brass crown. The entire armor is befitted with brass adornments and accoutrements. A long silver longsword stands chained at his hip with a long, flowing black robe. You see before you a true Ifriti.
I am going to now, to just show a sign of respect, bow once more.
With our true forms revealed, it is an honor to meet you, Ifriti King.
Reese just stands on top. Just wants to be taller than his dad. It does not matter.
Just arms at your side, like,
Even
or
here,
yeah, arms crossed.
Yeah, you are taller than him, but not by much at this
No.
point. He's quite large. But he looks around and says, "Well then, secret revealed. You are clearly not ordinary adventurers. How did you come across my queen? Ma'at? Where have you been? What did all of you do? Who are you?"
Insert exposition here.
Mhm.
We'll tell him we removed all the other goblins from the room, and we've invoked true names. I think we're in a safe place to talk about that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Anything? Does Reese want us to leave anything out?
No. You basically have to impress him and give him the whole skinny, honestly. At this point, he has enough power, and he's in front of Ma'at, that if he bullshits or does anything wrong with that power and knowledge that we give him, she can fuck him up.
Truth. This. I have waited so long for people like you to come. I never thought it would actually happen. Ma'at, are you to take them to the labyrinth? She speaks up and says, "Yes, I shall guide them as best I can. You know as well as I that it is never the same twice. Perhaps you should tell your boy that his experience was for naught." And he kind of gets a look on his face like, "Ooh, right." And he looks.
Reese jumps down and is just like, "My experience was for not what?"
When you left, I knew that I could not keep you here much longer, but there is no exit within the labyrinth. When you slept, I conjured a dream, and we had you removed from the city. Nothing that you remember will help you. The bog that stinks, I created it. The rat on top of the dog, that was actually my vizier's idea. I am sorry I lied to you, but
And those
You
weird
would-
things with the
if you had-
detachable limbs?
not real, I am afraid.
Those
None of these will
freaking
help
sang
you.
The
to me,
fire
Dad!
The whatever
Oh.
gang?
Those
None
sang
of
to
this will
me!
help you. I never thought you would actually ever get within this labyrinth. I never wanted you down there. It is a death trap. It is we intentionally put guards to keep people out. Only the most hardened adventurers can go in, because Zalishkar is so powerful. Only the strongest should go up against him. My accent's all over the place.
You could just make it David Bowie if you want.
Good.
He is
You remind
hot,
me of the-
like
You
literally,
remind me of the
so.
babe. Yeah, he's
The
made
babe?
of fire.
The
Literally
babe with
made
the
of fire.
power. How's the
Babe with
babe?
power.
I'm sorry. Then what was the point of antagonizing me the whole freaking time? What? Oh yeah, go through my labyrinth. Yeah, then you'll be free. I'll let you go. Like, I'm sorry. So that was all just for your normal showboating to stroke your own fucking ego?
Well, if we let you feel as though the labyrinth was just a simple maze, it would not have felt an accomplishment. You would have perhaps known something was up.
Were you ever going to let me free and actually let me know I was able to be?
I had no true intention of this, but I had hoped that eventually you could come back to clear out this maze and free me finally. And it looks like perhaps you have.
You're such a selfish prick.
I want to ask him, so is a labyrinth basically like a maze, but there's no exit? Or like it only goes to like the center, whereas a maze has an exit out or something? Is there a difference?
Very astute. A maze does have an exit. A labyrinth goes to a specific point. Since all of you know, the central point is the prison of Zalishkar.
Okay, good to know.
Why did you lie where I came from? I don't even know where I freaking came from. I just appeared one day, apparently, down a river, which is bullshit. What the freaking... Why would you lie about that?
There was one group of adventurers.
Mm-hmm.
They came to the city. They came into the palace. They did not stay long, just enough to get food for themselves. They went into the labyrinth, but one of them amongst the numbers had a baby and did not want to accidentally bring him to harm. So she left him with me, as her and her compatriots went into the labyrinth. I never saw them again.
What was her name?
Guiltleaf. Adelina Guiltleaf.
Did she look like me?
Similar, but with chestnut hair.
Okay. Did you do my hair like this?
I never changed it. The passing of the summer sun makes the hair lighter.
That explains it.
It was much darker when you were a child.
Okay. Fine, whatever.
Not to interrupt the family reunion. I understand this is a very emotional time, this sort of thing, but we were not lying to you about the fate of the world. As we told you of our adventures, this is all to stop not the conjunction from happening, but to stymie the negative effects.
To be fair,
And-
I begged them not to have to come here, but I know you had power, and with the vortex of everything going on, the hallucinations, which I know you've been probably experiencing, because I experienced them, I knew I had to talk to you.
The hallucinations and visions have been getting worse. My people, they're starting to question, and that goes against the enchantments of the palace. But yes, you're saying that these are all connected, these strange goings-ons.
Unfortunately.
The demon is still trapped, yes?
Yes, it is trapped
Okay.
within the bottle of binding. And Ma'at speaks up and says, if we can get to the bottle, I can break its enchantments. Balag Makar and I are the ones who sealed it in the first place.
Is our goal to destroy the demon or to banish it?
If to destroy it would be the best. If we can
Okay,
do
good.
this, the labyrinth will no longer be needed. If the labyrinth is no longer needed, I am no longer needed to be bound here. And if I am no longer bound here, I could help in your war.
Good.
It's a good enough
it's-
reason to go for it. You know?
Would you help in the war, knowing that the consequences would mean that even if you were to run back to the plane of fire, Rovagug would just follow eventually if we fail?
The rough beast will eventually consume all there is. And I owe Reist much for the lifetime of lies. I will help you if you can free me.
I look to Reese and I say, the magic is holding. I do not believe him to be lying.
I know.
Especially not in front of his boss.
Yeah, that's
Ma'at smirks and nods at you.
I hate this. I hate this.
Hey.
Not only was I lied to my whole life, I was gaslit about a whole everything I freaking experienced. The agony, the
You were
fucking
gaslit,
temptation.
gatekeeped, and girl boss the whole
Oh,
time.
all of it. The whole way. As much as I want to say fuck you, I don't need your power. I wouldn't have been here in the first place if that wasn't going to help us. And I'm gonna try to not be a selfish prick, unlike somebody. So we'll accept his help. Dickbag.
Maybe
It is
after
nice
all
to
of,
have you back, Reese.
Oh yeah,
May-
yeah, I bet.
maybe after all of this is done, you two can work out some of your tension in a more productive manner without the
There's
sort
a
of looming
battlefield
threat
not
to the
too far
multiverse.
out, so yeah, we'll see.
But in the meantime, I have prepared a number of spells and things to help us. However, I am unsure of our ability to succeed. I would like to know, do you know of any weaknesses and or the true name of this demon or devil?
We believe its true name is Zalishkar.
Zalishkar.
Zalishkar. I'll send it to Discord. That's a DM. Zalishkar. Okay.
Okay. And do you know that it has any immunities or any sort of strengths we should be wary of? For example, if it's immune to fire, we will not use fire.
Well, it is Zalishkar of the Bitter Flame, so yes, it is immune to fire.
Necrotic or negative. It's
Not that
negative damage.
Not that I'm aware of. I believe good damage would hurt it. Poison and physical damage will not do much. However, it is a devil. If you have a silvered weapon, perhaps that would pass through.
Do I have that one?
I think,
Not that I
Con,
would
your
need it.
Gladius, I think, is silvered.
Hmm.
Yes, it is. She
I have-
smirks knowingly.
I have a cold iron dagger, which is good against Fae, but not really devils. My Jezatiel staff is not even really. I'm not doing melee anyway, so I don't know why I'm even checking.
Yeah, right. But Reese, I don't think you have a silvered weapon.
No,
However,
if
you-
I did, I would probably have that with my possessions
Mhm.
that I don't
However,
have on me.
There is kind of an armory just to the southeast that you passed earlier. It's right next to the treasure swimming room. So you can easily go over there and just pick up a silvered weapon.
Yeah.
So let me see. Items. Just a sword, or what kind of weapon would you like?
Reese wants daggers.
Daggers. Okay. Silver.
And
Okay.
they're gonna be like jewel encrusted on like the hilts and stuff. They're gonna be like from his. I want them to be like the daggers from his room that he left behind.
Mm-hmm. Okay, I understand. Striking daggers. I have an idea. Here we go. I can just make you a new weapon really fast with a bonus of 2. Okay. Inventory. Striking dagger. Once that drops into your inventory, there you go. At least I think that. Magic weapon,
Yeah,
magic
striking
dagger. There it
sword,
is.
magic dagger. Yep.
There it is. +1 striking dagger. So it should be on your actions tab now. Yep, it is. Great.
Good.
Oh, I didn't put silvered on it because I'm dumb. Let me.
No, you're not dumb. Stop. You have like 50 things controlling.
Yeah, I've got a lot of crap going on. Cons. Just want to make sure that they work properly, because if they don't have the right damage type, they don't work right.
Ah, gotcha.
Yeah. There it is. There it is. Piercing silver. Perfect. There we go. And then an extra die. 2 and 2. Perfect. Got it. +2 striking silver dagger. Got it on your sheet there, Reese.
Yay!
Cool. So
Okay.
Reese also walks over his dad, sees the rubies that he's been juggling, and like, those are tacky. And he goes through his bag and hands him meteor daggers. Meteor rubies from the beginning.
I remember when you got those out of from the coronation when the meteors hit.
Yeah.
Ah, these look like they would focus my fire powers. And he kind of does this to them and shoots a beam of fire through them and scorches the ground in front of him and says, "You've gotten good taste since you left."
I was unfortunately raised by a person with really good taste, so it's kind of carried on.
Good luck
Don't-
down there. All of you will need it.
Is my room still intact? I gotta grab a couple things.
I left it as you left it.
Cool. And Reese just like wanders over to wherever the hell his room would be.
I don't have that on here.
Yeah, that's fine.
But yeah, we can kind of theater the mind that
Yeah,
you
yeah,
go
yeah.
back to your room high up in one of the towers. It's just as you left it. Nothing's been moved. What do you need from there?
So Reese goes and grabs his daggers, and then he like looks around, kind of like in a panic. It's just like, where is it? Like throws up a million blankets, and then like pushes his bed over to the side, and he's like, "I thought I lost you for forever," and just has this little plush fox, and
Hilarious.
just like puts it in his bag. "You're not going anywhere without me. I'm so sorry." Puts it down. "My Veneer's gonna love you." And he grabs a couple different books and stuff and other like small like trinkets and pictures and things that
Sure.
he'd be like, these are important to him that he never thought he'd see again.
And there is one thing.
What?
No, never mind. Yeah, you
Okay.
grab all that stuff, and you're able to come back to the room. And as you do, they're just kind of talking about the conjunction and the
Mhm.
coming things. But you're able to come back to your group, and Ma'at says, "Well, whenever all of you are ready, we are ready to enter the labyrinth once again."
For real this time? And he glares up at his dad.
We will not interfere.
Okay.
I cannot enter the labyrinth myself. Once you go in, you are beyond my control.
Fair.
Well, this should be fun.
Wonderful. So that's a great like scene transition. Can we take like a 5-minute break
Yeah,
so I
of
can
course.
set up?
Yeah,
Not a
absolutely, of
full-on
course.
intermission, but like
No,
real quick.
a few
Awesome.
minutes, we're
So
good.
thanks. We'll see y'all in just a couple of minutes, and we'll be right back. Thanks. Welcome back, everybody. We are back from our short intermission where we last left off. Lux Et Umbra had finally Reese, I suppose, had finally reunited with his father, the Goblin King, within the Lotus Palace of Shiman-Sekh. Quickly, though, it became apparent that he'd been lying quite a lot throughout Reese's life, and he was forced to reveal himself as Balag Mahar, the Afriti fire genie, guardian of the labyrinth here within Shiman-Sekh. Lux Et Umbra has decided to venture deep down within the labyrinth itself to try and destroy Zalishkar, the dread evil that is kept within. If they do so, Ma'at, the Pharaoh God King, and Balag Makar, the Afriti, have both agreed to lend their aid in the coming conjunction. And that's where we come in. You walking past all of the temptations of the Lotus Palace once more, the beautiful smelling foods, the amazing incense, the beautiful dancers, the treasure swimming rooms. You manage to get yourselves down the spiral staircase. It goes deep, deep down within the sands. Because, as you know, you flew over it. The labyrinth itself is underground, and the oasis that the city is built next to is flooded over top of the labyrinth. So you spiral down, down, down. And as the ancient stone stairs come to an end, a room opens up before you. Bronze braziers upon the floor flare to life as you approach. A semicircular rune is carved into the sandstone floor, depicting a monstrous creature within. On either side of the floor carving are angled outlets, each ending in a solid stone wall with the same going east and west. Each wall, that's it.
Teresa's like kind of like scoping it out, like, so this is the real deal, this is kind of like what it looked like, but everything beyond this is bullshit. Cool. And he just like rolls his eyes, lets his hair down, like, and just like readjusts everything and wants to do a perception. See if there's a good way to start going in.
Everyone give me perceptions in the tower, please.
As we do, I'm gonna tell Reese,
Listen, don't hold it so against him for wanting to protect you from this place. I think if I had a kid that wanted to run away from home, and the only way to get away from home was to go through a deadly labyrinth where no one has ever gotten through before, I might do something similar. Even if he is a bastard, I understand where he's coming from. At least now we have a chance to do it when we're all ready to do it. We could be the first here. We better be.
Yeah. I know I wouldn't have been ready then, but still doesn't freaking annoy me any less.
So you're having this
fair.
conversation. Khan is wandering around, and Khan, you pick up on something. There are 4 sort of walls. There's to the left and the right, and there's 2 to the front of you. And you notice that each one of them has a symbol on it. And I'm just going to show you an image that has all 4 on the same picture because I didn't feel like separating them. But they are counterclockwise from the top left, clockwise from the top left, and that's left to right on the map. Okay, so clockwise, left to right. So these are the images you see carved within these walls. These 3 spirals is on the left. The 3 spiky ones.
It's the 5th element, everybody. It's the 5th element.
He's right. It's the 5th element.
I immediately recognition. I'm like, I know that movie.
At least pretend like your characters don't know it's the 5th element, but he's right. It's the 5th element.
I have no idea. What?
There's only 4.
Yeah, but clockwise, left to right. But that's what you see, Con.
On the walls or the doors?
They appear to be walls, but you get the sense they might slide. Like it's a solid wall, but you can see there are kind of cracks, like all up and down them. So they probably slide, is the sense you get.
I think we could easily. I mean, the one that looks like fire is fire. There's one that looks like wind, and then the other. I think we could discern that these are supposed to be elements, right?
Yeah.
I won't even make you roll. It's pretty easy to discern that they're supposed to represent elements. Yes.
I've got water breathing on us.
Now, so we can all breathe underwater.
Let's try the water one first. You're okay with that?
Yeah, let's go.
Okay, so that's the 3rd one there.
Yeah.
Like this one?
Over here?
That one. Where's the Vetus? Yes.
Yes. Okay.
Yep, exactly right north of Reese. So there's the big water symbol on there. And what do you do to this wall? It is a wall with a carving in it.
The wall screams, "What have you done to me?" I got a water skin, right? Just
I was gonna suggest that. Just take out the water
you do.
skin and
yeah.
splash a little.
As
little
you
spray
do,
bottle.
the sandstone absorbs the water, and it all begins to capillate into the stone, and it slowly traverses into the symbol, filling it up. Where it once was engraving, water is solidified in there, and you hear a low hum. That's all that happens.
Oh, it's not like a path?
Not yet.
Yeah.
Alright.
Well, I've got this. I'm gonna take an alchemist fire and chuck it at the firewall.
Yes, good.
Hold on, don't go too fast. I need to be writing these down. Okay, so you put an alchemist fire on the second door. That's the triangular one, kind of to the left, the other side here. Okay, and as you do, you throw your alchemist fire. It shatters on this door, and once again, the flames that you would think should lick at the fuel within your alchemist fire begins to be absorbed into the stone, and the carving itself seems to have flickering fire within it. And you hear another low tone. Boom.
Reese, where do you want to go?
Looking at actually right now, I'm looking at my inventory, see if I have anything. So, I think what Reese is gonna do is go over to the one where air is and take
Far
out.
left.
Yep, far left. All right, perfect. Boop. Oop, I didn't mean to do that. Whatever the hell I just did.
Nothing.
And he's gonna take out his weapons and primarily probably his biggest one, so one of his bigger swords, and just like start like making an air tunnel channel with his wrist by
Like the thing with the butterfly knife that some
Yeah.
people can do.
yeah,
Sure,
but
that's
with
very
a giant
interesting.
sword for a decent gust of wind.
Sure. I like that. You do some flourishes that you learned in the orc lands, and you're able to whip up enough of an air current that the eddies begin to suck into the stone, and they fill up the cracks in this engraving. And Ma'at looks to all of you and says, "Very clever," and walks over to this, and she looks to her shoulder and brushes off some of the dirt that she's had from walking through the deserts with all of you today. Just kind of casually brushes it onto the door, and the sand fills up the crevices within that. Okay, so it's okay. So as Ma'at puts the last bit of sand on that door, you start to hear a grinding sound, stone on stone. Let me see. So that's water. I have to do a thing. So for a moment, you have a moment to talk amongst yourselves as you're hearing the stone grinding.
Did we get
going-
it?
Yeah, I'll be like, well, Ma'at, you commissioned the creation of this labyrinth, but you have not gone through it yourself, yes?
That is correct. Yes, I have never been down here.
I guess we're going to test to see how well they were able to do.
Yes, the genie I had, they were inspired. The Shaitani, the Earth Genie, raised the labyrinth. The Meridi, the waters, flooded it. The Genie made the wind wall, and the Ifriti guard it. But I am, as you may or may not know, am Suli. We encompass all of the Genie blood. It is how I was able to bring them together here.
You in life were of the genie.
I am a Genie blood, a Suli.
So you're a genie?
A
Or-
human, but with in my past, an ancestor perhaps was laid with a genie.
Okay, sorry, that's the first time I've heard of this.
Yes, we are quite rare, but I was human in life.
Let me see here. Did I get all of it? I think just about. Cool. So as you're kind of having this conversation, the grinding sound stops. And before each of you, pathways open. In front of Ma'at, there's a short hallway that goes this way. Zavid, in front of you, you see a hallway that goes forward about 6 feet and turns left and goes off to the northeast as well. Khan, in front of you, you see a very short hallway that ends and also has a small bit to the right. And Reese, next to you, the stone pulls aside and reveals a longer hallway that has 2 exits to the north. But this is what all of you see as the grinding of the stone ceases.
Well, let's not split up, gang, because that would be bad, I feel.
What's that? Split up?
No! I rush over and grab you, like, do not! I grab rope, I tie it around my waist. I'm like,
We
you're
did
not
say we
doing
need to be
this.
tethered, so...
Mhm.
They do. So we
Yeah.
don't get lost.
Here, hold on. Let me show you my rope tying abilities. I'll impress you, Zavid.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, we
Reese-
know for a fact that you're practiced.
I am an expert with ropes. Ask my Thanar sometime. I can call him if you need the dedication there. Anyhow,
Okay.
Reese takes out like rope.
Zavid rolls his eyes, he's like, I know what you two get up to now. All right,
Do
we're past
you?
that point.
Okay.
Mhm.
Okay. All right. Anyway, I
So you
he
get all
kind of
tied
gets
together.
flustered and does
Yeah,
make a device sort of.
Sure, all of you are able to get ropes tied together and connected somehow, sort of a daisy chain. You have enough length in between that you can comfortably walk, maybe 10 feet or so in between each person.
Yeah.
But then Ma'at will say, "Well then, which direction shall we walk?"
I think it should be Reese in front, Khan is second, me third, and Ma'at last.
Cool.
I have
Fair.
Ant Hall up, so if for some reason we're on like a rickety thing and one of you falls down, I have Ant Hall. I could try to like pull at least 2 people.
Cool.
Yeah, I think what obviously he's gonna do too is have actually, oh yeah, he can use Swift Sneak.
Oh yeah, and Warden Step simultaneously. So
Yeah.
you can definitely all be moving at basically the normal
Same
pace,
time.
but quietly. But
Quiet.
Khan, if you want to be moving at normal pace, you have to use Reese's stealth. So
Okay.
if you want to be stealthy and keep up, you'll have to use his roll. So Reese, give me a stealth roll.
Mm-hmm. Tower.
In the tower, yes. Cool. I will note that down. Okay. So yeah, you have essentially, well, 4 options or 4 options.
We just opened the doors, but I thought we wanted to try water first, if that's all right.
Yeah, sure,
Yeah,
not a
okay.
Yeah,
problem.
why not? We have water well.
Okay, so I'm gonna open up some corridors for you. So as you walk up there, you see that the corridor to the left does just go straight to where that other door was. So that's nothing there. Give me perception checks in the tower, everybody.
I perceive. I perceive.
Oh, and no, okay. None of you notice anything out of the ordinary. This place is it's all stone everywhere. Oh, right, don't have to just do squares. There we go. I can open them up like this. Thank goodness. So, a small hallway goes to the northeast, and it breaks off, and I'm just going to open up a kind of a chunk, I guess. I can only keep this hidden for so long.
Yeah.
So what you see before you is a boundless amount of hallways, curving left, right, up, well, not up and down, but all over the place, several different hallways. And at this point, it's when Khan notices this, because of your crafting history, I would say.
Yeah.
You notice that there are small seams all along the floors, walls, and ceilings. They're razor thin, but there seems to be slices taken out. everywhere. You're not sure why, but you see them. They're slices taken out. It's weird.
Does it seem like they go further down?
Give me crafting in the tower.
Are they deep?
Give me crafting in the tower.
Gotcha. Big money, no whammies.
You think? No, with that roll, you're not entirely sure what they might be for, but you're noticing.
Can I make a check?
Yeah, you can. You can in the tower as well.
It's pointed out to me, so I'll try to see if I can figure it out.
Yeah.
That's a little better, actually. Zavid, putting together the stone scraping sound you heard as the walls moved aside, you get the idea that the walls and the floors and the ceilings move. They probably slide past each other to rearrange themselves.
All right, I'm gonna just do it. I'm casting 6th level spell Stone Tell on the wall.
Ooh, what does that do?
You can ask questions of and receive answers from natural or worked stone. While stone is not intelligent, you speak with the natural spirits of the stone, which have a personality colored by the type of stone, as well as by the type of structure the stone is a part of. For work stone, a stone's perspective, perception, and knowledge give it a worldview different enough from humans that it doesn't consider the same details important. Stones can mostly answer questions about creatures that touched them in the past and what is concealed behind or beneath them. But also, I think the purpose of what they are constructed for would make sense, and this lasts for 10 minutes.
Okay, interesting.
So-
All right.
So I cast Stone Tell, and I start talking to the walls, and I must look fucking insane to everybody here. So
absolutely.
yeah, I want you to
How
describe
does
what
this-
you look like.
How does this work? I see there are seams here. We both know this. The walls move. How do they move? How do you shift and change?
We shift like the wind, man. Just like at the whims and the whimsy of, randomness, dude. Like check it out. I can just do this. And the walls near you, you hear a rumbling, and I'm just gonna, and could you all move to just the end of the hallway you're at, just so you can see what's happening?
Yeah.
Just right there, right where Khan is. And the walls say to you, Zavid, I can do things like this. And you all see the walls go and realign themselves in a different orientation. There is now a new hallway facing you to the north.
So for 10 minutes, we could talk to the labyrinth itself, which is fucking cool. So I'm like,
That's awesome.
Hey, what would be the best way to get to the center of the labyrinth, dude?
Broski, like, it's not the center you want to get to. It's like the prison room that's, I think you guys call it north? Anyway, you don't want to go that way without checking out all the rooms, because, like, they put up some kind of a weird thing that, like, makes the last thing, like, stronger or something. I don't really know, man. But, like, you gotta take out the safeguards first. Otherwise, you're gonna be, like, Gonski, bro. Like, donezo.
So safeguards, is that like... I can't do this. Is that like, there are guardians, or there are like spells, or just checkpoints we have to reach?
I don't know.
first?
They're like rooms that they put stuff in. I don't really know. They're in my octagonal rooms all over. There's one right over there, and you can actually feel that the stone. It's not moving, but you can feel a directionality in its speech, and it's kind of pointing you straight shot as the crow flies northeast,
okay.
up and right. Like you can feel that it's pointing you through walls and such to that direction. There's
Like
there's
over
a
here.
room- there's a room right over there that I know the first one's right over here. Yeah, basically that room. The little square just to the south, just left and down of where you put the 5 marker.
I say to Reese, I'm like, let's go northeast. I will try to keep the cooperation of the labyrinth as long as I can.
What? I'm sorry, you've just been talking to yourself.
No, I've been talking to the stone with magic, and it's telling me how it moves. We need to find safeguards before we find the prison room. The stone is telling me there's a safeguard northeast. Would you like to lead us there?
Yeah, why not?
Does the stone have a silly voice? because you know
It
so many
does.
things in our adventures they tend to have silly voices, you know.
Ah!
Yeah. With the labyrinth, like giving you information. Let me open. I have a separate map for you, really fast. Just one moment. So I have to. Are you taking this? You're taking the center. Don't close the labyrinth map because we're going to go back to that shortly. But I have a new map that I'm going to pop you on and share.
Okay.
There we are. So yeah, just don't close the main one because we're going to be popping back and forth.
Okay.
Got it.
So you eventually make your way around. Zavid, you have your hand on the wall, and the labyrinth is guiding you towards this area here. And there are, let's see, you enter a room that is 3 hallways which come to a common corner. Within the room are 3 mirrors from floor to ceiling, edged in finely filigreed gold.
Could I do a
Mirrors,
society?
floor, ceiling.
Sure, society for what?
I want to like look at the gold filigree and see if there's any like just kind of like brain pretty much like almost not like a crafting check but like a crafting check to see like, okay, what historical is this from, so we have an idea what era we're dealing with.
Sure, yeah, roll me a society check. And Con, what are you doing?
I was just like commenting on the mirrors. If we can get closer, then
Yeah, go ahead.
maybe I could do a crafting check to see about their make, maybe supplement Reese's roll and help him
Absolutely.
out.
Yeah.
Okay, we're in there. Fantastic. As you all get into the room, the hallways begin a barrier of blue energy patch closes off the hallways behind you. Ma'at looks startled for a moment and says,
Ah, yes. I suppose this is a test chamber then.
so, Reese, with your society, you can tell that these are very, very old. These are Osiriani type mirrors, but they don't seem particularly goblin-y.
Okay.
So, Con and Zavid, what are you doing?
Crafting
Let's take a look
check.
in one
And
of
I
these
do-
mirrors.
Yeah, and I do have magical crafting.
Ah,
So I picked
okay,
that up
so
ages ago and never
you
used it.
did. Roll the crafting in the tower for me, Con. Okay. You can tell these are exquisitely made. These are finely crafted mirrors, but they're very, very old. So they were done with techniques that have probably been lost to time at this point. But the carvings of the gold outlines are very handcrafted. These are really exquisite mirrors.
Gotcha.
And then Zavid, you said, what are you doing?
Looking inside one of these mirrors, looking into it.
Okay. What you see is yourself dressed in fine academic scholarly robes. No longer bound by the archaic dogma of Cabriri, you're a world-traveling scholar, exploring the length and breadth of Galarian, leisurely practicing your magic with no judgments from society. Give me a will save, please.
Yeah, absolutely.
Uh-oh.
Rutro.
Okay. You pass, but what you see in there, you see a reflection in the shadows of the mirror within the image itself, swirling runes in a language long since lost. Tendrils of smoke flicker in and out too quickly to discern their meaning. If only the mirror would show you a closer view, you might be able to see what they're saying. Let's go to Reese. What are you doing, Reese?
Can I zoom? like a big old phone? Like, can I do that?
Give
Or is
me
it
a-
behind the mirror? It's like inside of the mirror.
No, it's within the image itself that you're
Ah,
trying to see. But you get a closer look, and give me a will save with a -4.
All right. Sweet. Oh wait, that's a plus. I want a minus.
As you're doing that, Reese will go over to these things, whatever they are. They're peculiarly shaped.
There's stone, or there metal braziers on the wall. Or sconces. I mean sconces. They hold torches. So those are just torches on the wall, lighting the room.
Reese is gonna pick one up.
Okay. It comes off the wall easily. It is a lit torch. It has a licking flame. It appears to be a magical torch, probably an ever-burning, a common magic item.
Hey, Khan, do you want to pick up the other one just to see if anything moves?
Yeah.
We'd have to. Do we want to untie ourselves?
For the moment, we'll say you have enough room for that. Like, my move
okay.
here.
Sure.
And Khan pulls the second lit torch off the wall, and nothing happens. It gives you a second source of light.
Well, we should keep these on us, but...
Okay.
Yeah.
And Zavid, you are enraptured by whatever the hell this mirror is trying to show you. You're like moving around, you're peeking behind the mirror, like, I know that's not going to work, but you're just pressing your face up against this thing, trying to read, and you just can't seem to take your mind off it. You can't take your eyes away from this mirror. Con and Reese, what are you two doing? You have your torches.
Look back at Zavid, and Reese is just like, I'm gonna move forward, step forward more towards Zavid so we don't pull each other and drop the torches.
Okay, yeah.
And Reese is gonna just like wave the torch in front of Zavid's face, like where there's like a little bit of space, like, buddy, hey.
Yeah.
Get
Not
that out of the
there.
way. It's not helping.
Yeah, exactly that.
And I'm like I'm like looking and stuff, and I'm
The
like
answers are in
playing
there.
around, trying to like get.
If you could just see whatever it is the mirror's trying to teach you, you think you could solve the riddle of this room. Just it's in there, man. It's in there.
Dare we try other mirrors to see what Zavid's seeing? Because
Oh yeah. What's even in there? Let's continue.
Listen, it's some image. It's trying to tantalize me with like, oh, your life could be this, but there's something deeper. There's something in there, like some runic message, and it's hidden. I don't know how to reveal it though. Like, I think what it tries to do is enrapture you and enthrall you. The whole time his eyes have not left the mirror as he's talking.
Yeah.
He's like a self-aware that it's an enthralling mirror, but doesn't understand that he's being enthralled. So he's like, it tries to enthrall you with this image of what your life could be like, and I saw through that. That was no big deal. But then there was something in the background. Something like arcane about the mirror. It's clearly the answer to the riddle, but I can't make it out. It's like it's just out of my reach every time I almost get it.
That's so perfect. That's exactly it.
I know nothing about the arcane. Khan, do you?
You could roll an Arcana check.
Perhaps you can look at this mirror with me and try to find the answers, as he says, completely unknowingly,
Unaware.
like trying to like invite you into this enthralling thing.
Yeah, like a breath fogging up the glass of the mirror.
Reese is gonna go to the other one and just try to take a look for the giggles.
Yeah.
Okay.
I rolled an Arcana check.
Same.
Okay. Reese, these are just mirrors as far as you can tell. They're finely crafted. They're maybe magical. Well, they're clearly magical because they're showing Zavid something, but you have no idea. Han, with your roll, these are absolutely magic mirrors. No question in your mind. They are enchanted. They are enchanted with illusion magic, you feel. You believe that these show false images. You rolled a nat 20, so
Hell yeah,
Yeah.
Zavid, I hate to, ash your style as it will. But I think that it might be trying to, trick you a second time.
Yeah, these
Well,
mirrors
unless
are
you
just,
have a
like,
way to get out
mirrors.
of this room, I feel that the answer must be within the mirror.
Honestly,
Why would they put 3 mirrors in this room and then seal it off and then that not be the answer somehow?
maybe you have to look within yourself and not actually what the mirror is showing you.
Well, that's the problem. See, I'm trying to see what the mirror's showing me, but my own reflection of me wearing some scholar stuff gets in the way. So I have to kind of like angle the mirror or angle myself, and like
he turns his body, and you notice his head is like pivots. He can't move away from the mirror. He cannot get his eyes off of it.
He physically can't remove himself from the mirror. That is 100% right. Yes.
So, like, as he moved to the you in the mirror move?
If he chooses, he can move the mirror. It's not like bolted
No, I
to
mean,
the
like,
wall.
himself. If, like, he moves himself. Does the Zavid on the inside with the ropes move?
Oh, as far as Khan and Reese can tell, it's literally just a reflection of Zavid.
Okay.
You don't see what he's
Gotcha.
seeing. You just see Zavid going, "Hey, whoa."
Yeah.
Is
Do
there
I get
something in your
additional will
ropes?
saves, or am I just I'm just fucked?
No, you critically failed. You're done on that one.
Oh, okay.
Mm.
Cool.
Yeah, Reese is gonna just walk behind the mirror and just try to move it.
You're capable of moving
Yeah.
it. It's heavy, but
I
Reese is
walk
strong.
with
Reese
it.
is
Yeah,
strong.
he walks
can...
with it.
Anything behind here? Hmm? Or any passageways? Anything hidden?
No, there's nothing hidden behind them.
Ma'at,
I can even
Ma'at, come
show you.
here.
See, there's nothing there.
Dang it.
Ma'at, I need your help. Maybe you know this language. Can you help me?
Perhaps. Let us see. And
Ma'at looks and
oh, fascinating. I wonder what land this is. Huh. God King there too, I see.
I mean, this is Osirian.
I've won the House Cup.
I don't know what you're talking about.
No,
Yeah, I don't
no.
know.
It's a really great idea that was original from Shane and Lumpy's
That's right.
mind.
Yes,
Original idea.
100%.
I'm House Boy.
Your house, weird boy.
I'm the House Boy.
How's Weird Boy? Because the Weird Boy. You're the cleric. That's right.
It's like, what does that mean? I don't know, but I've got a trophy in my hands,
see.
and I'm strong.
Ma'at also failed her check, so yeah, she continues. She's doing exactly what I rolled really bad. She's doing what Zavid is doing. I'm like, oh yes, look, I think it's in there. It's just, it might be. Is it perhaps like druidic? She's doing the same thing.
Yeah.
I don't know, but it's tantalizing, and it's
see what you're
pissing me
saying.
off because
Yes,
it's like clearly that's
Reese
what we
is
need
gonna
to figure
just
out.
break the fucking mirror.
Yeah,
Okay.
good idea. This is clearly going nowhere. I mean,
Reese
we got
doesn't
some
even
other-
tell them that he's gonna do it. He just walks right over to it. He's just like, oops.
Please do. Please break the mirror. Out of game.
Yeah.
Zavid can't escape. He's just fucked.
Yeah, he's
so
trapped.
like if you don't break the mirror, he's not gonna get out of this.
Reese is just gonna walk forward. Guys, you need to move. Hold on.
No, you need to move. You're in the way. Okay.
No,
if you're going to
I'm
be
not
here, you
in
need
the
to
way.
look at this
buddy,
with us.
buddy, guy, pal. And he
Why don't
activates
you
the
two
wall.
go look at the other mirrors? Maybe it's like 3 pieces of a puzzle. We have to put them all together.
No. Shh.
Rude. All right, I'm not your dad. You can't treat me like this, okay?
Where do you think he
Yes.
learned it from? And he looks into the mirror, activates Wog Crumpet, and just like takes his daggers out and stabs each of them.
All right.
What are you
let's
doing?
stab
we
the
need
mirror.
that.
I'm just gonna turn it to show that it's dead. There,
Yep.
Yeah.
dead mirror, and
Am I released
Abs-
from the enthrallment?
you are immediately released from the enthrallment. Yes.
Am I aware that I was enthralled, or am I still
absolutely.
upset? Oh, okay.
You're upset. Yeah, like you're aware. You know exactly what just happened.
Oh shit.
What the
Oh my,
frick is
that was.
Who is that?
These are more powerful than I imagined.
Yeah, you
Good
two
work, Ginny.
clearly got stuck out in.
Who are
It's kind
you?
of funny.
Ah! What the fuck that was?
Oh, you don't
Mhm.
know what that was. Hmm.
It's a hallucination.
Yeah, hallucination.
Right.
I'm
well-
like, all right.
I think I'm gonna break in case of emergency on all of these bad boys. And Reese just like, come on. And
Telekinetic projectile parts of the other mirror into like the mirror over here.
There you go.
There we go.
Okay, great. So you're just gonna smash the other two
Yeah.
without looking at them? Okay, great. So as you do, the shards fall to the floor and they fade away as illusions, but the smoke of them fading away coalesces back, and before you stand 3
Oh, hey.
red women with horns, wings, and spiked tails. Please roll initiative.
Why do we
Alright.
have to fight them?
I mean, I guess we don't. They might offer us the ability not to fight them. And instead they'll just, suck our souls out through our nethers or something.
Is that a fortitude or perception? Sorry,
What?
perception.
We're
Right?
not being sneaky. We're smashing
Yeah, you're not
mirrors.
being sneaky.
Yeah.
This is a smash and grab. Yeah, smash and mirrors.
Smash and grab. Okay.
Or smash and mirrors.
Excuse me.
Oh, Reese, I don't know why you're fascinated. I'm gonna get rid of that.
That was from earlier.
Oh yeah, that was from earlier. That'd be gone.
The
by now.
dancers.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna give you a 27 because there we go. There we go. Okay. So that makes it actually one of them first. That kind of checks out. This one in front of you, Reese. Zavid managed to telekinetic projectile the far one, but Reese, you smashed this one right in front of you, and this creature takes you off guard. She is going to, let's see here. Can I do that? Okay.
You know what?
okay.
You can do anything you set your mind to.
That's
man.
true. Yes, she's going to strike out at you with her claws and attempt to slash at you, Reese. There we go. Damn, misses.
Damn.
Very disappointed.
Damn,
that missed.
misses.
Very disappointed that
Like I
missed.
said, what did I do to you? I'm just kidding.
She's going to use her 2 other actions to use Profane Gift. So all of the other ones get that as well. Get a bonus. So she lashes out at you and is unable to hit you. You duck right out of the way just in time, but she gives some sort of a buff to her companions. That ends her turn. I think that's Khan. You're up. And remember, all of you are tied together, so none of you can go more than 10 feet apart.
Yeah. Oh, then I get kind of yoinked when
True.
Reese goes over there. This is not very conducive to Khan style of fighting. So
You have your crossbow.
I have my crossbow.
Can you delay your turn?
Or that. Or you could, I'll say you could...
I could just cut the rope and then
Yeah,
we'll
cut
tie
the
it
rope.
tie
Yeah,
it
you
up
can
later.
cut the rope. Yeah,
You can
I'll
always
let you cut
retie
the
it
rope for an
later.
action.
Yeah. Yeah, Khan draws the gladius and then
I'll let that be one action. Cut the rope as you're
Awesome.
drawing.
yeah, it could just be the part that's tied around my waist.
Yeah.
But anyways, second action, gonna run over. And third action, attack. I don't think I can get flanking, so not flat-footed. I just figured that she was she was too close to the wall. I don't know. Oh, you're muted also.
Sorry about that. Yeah, you can get behind her because the mirror is shattered.
Okay, awesome.
So, flat-footed there, and you have one action remaining.
Click. Yay. Alright. Actions. Take this. Haha.
Oh shit, that is a big old gnarly critical on a sneak attack. So let's see. Oh, this is gonna hurt a whole hell of a lot. Oh my
Nice.
Oh lord, that's a lot of dice.
god.
That's a lot of damage.
That's a lot of damage.
6 damage.
You slice into this creature without missing a beat. Khan knows what's up. You're not afraid of anything. This thing, it was distracted swiping at Reese, and you saw your opening. That's the end of your turn.
Yeah.
Oh, you get your the debilitation thing. What do you want to do?
Bleed, finally! Something
Yes.
that will bleed.
Yes, this will bleed.
2d6 persistent bleed.
Okay, so I have to add that on my side, I think. First 2d6 bleed. There we go. So at the end of its next turn, if it's not already dead, it will start bleeding.
Okay.
So that makes it number 1. She is going to go up to the closest enemy, Zavid, attack with her claws. 2.
Don't.
Oh, son of a bitch, a crit miss. Okay, god damn it. And I can't use any of my cool stuff if I miss. Ugh. Okay, but she does have a. Oh no, that's not. That's right. Damn it. Nope, I got nothing else useful I can do to Zavid specifically. Damn it. So she's just going to attack you again. That's a hit though. Can't do anything super cool, but she does slash out at you with some damage. What are you resistant to? Necrotic or negative?
Yeah, negative.
Negative. Okay, so yeah, she does some slashing damage, and this feels evil. You take some evil damage as well. And her, it's the second one. She's going to fly over to Ma'at to here, claw at the Pharaoh Queen. Oh, that was almost a nat 20. Wow, it still hits. Does a little damage to Ma'at. It says, give us a kiss, darling. And uses Passionate Kiss because she has to hit in order to do that. Also, the hit does Improved Grab, so Ma'at is grabbed by this creature as well. And Passionate Kiss, the succubus engages a creature they have grabbed in an embrace and try to drain it of its vital essence. So the kiss makes the creature drained 1. They get a will save. There we go. So Ma'at gets a will save. Ooh, wow, really bad. Fails, but not critically, so she's going to take 5d6 negative damage. 16, and then is drained 1. Okay. That wasn't super fun. So that's the end of the succubus. Reese.
So Reese wants to use one of his feats, Predictable, because he sees the attack going into him, but then he also sees what's going around between the other succubus and the failure, just like observing as it's all going. It's like, well, the one tried to hit me, that was bad. So with Predictable, it's by observing an opponent, you can get a sense of their next move and prepare to counter or resist. Choose either one target or attempt perception to sense motive against the foe's deception DC or a hard DC of the foe's level, whichever is higher.
Deception DC? Well, a hard is 34, I think, and its deception DC is 34. It's the same.
Okay. So
34.
Yeah. Alright, so if that's the case, let me just take a look. So what would I have to roll to just like key into that?
It's your perception.
My perception?
So roll that publicly.
Okay. Perception. Come on.
It's pretty good. Not quite enough though. So you're not able to really get a bead on what she's gonna do, but you still have 2 actions, and you do have your flurry ready already. So
yeah, I do.
You don't have to use that.
Yeah. So I'm gonna go and take the new shiny daggers that, well, not new, but see what everybody else the new shiny daggers. And Reese is just gonna sigh happily. That feels so much better. And goes and can I make it also like hunted prey and stuff?
Yeah, that'll be 1 action to hunt prey. So let's hunt prey. And you have her selected?
Yep,
Yes.
as designated target.
Cool.
And then I
you
don't
got
worry about
designated target?
precision until I hit, right?
No, do that one now.
Oh, okay.
There you go. Now
Okay.
go ahead and try to hit.
Alright, so strike and dagger, we're gonna go. Boop.
Still a hit. All right.
Okay.
Not a crit. These are not super high level creatures. Roll 1 more d8. That should have done an extra d8.
It
I don't know why
always
it didn't.
does that.
I know, it's weird.
Or-
So that's an extra 3.
And then
Okay.
I go use the other dagger for the other hit from the wog.
That's right. At your highest.
Okay.
That's a
Critical.
crit.
Ooh.
This one will not get your d8, but it will still get sneak attack.
Eh.
That was pretty good.
Yep. That was
She's
good.
looking really terrible. She's bleeding from all these holes the 2 of you have put in her.
Can I use my reaction to opportune
Yes,
backstab?
you absolutely can. If you hit, I'll tell you, just your modifier alone will kill her.
Awesome.
You see your opening, and you slide your sword into the open wound you made earlier. Go ahead and roll damage just to see what it is.
Just to see the big number.
All you need is 5.
Yeah,
Hey,
I
look at
think
that. You
that's
kill her
a
by
little more than 5.
23. Yeah, so, yeah, you take her out. She, and kind of fades away, and disappears from where she once stood.
Noise.
Hell yeah.
I don't know why she hasn't. There we go. So Con, that was just stupid blood. I wish that would stop. But yeah, Con, you get some demon blood on you sprayed back. It's a little black, but
My brand.
your brand.
Your brand.
So I think you have 2 actions left, Con. Yeah.
Oh, that was my reaction.
Oh, that was your reaction,
Yeah, that's
right?
reaction.
So Reese, that was just 2 actions and then 1 more to move.
Yep, pretty much. And Reese is just gonna move in between the both of.
All right. That brings it to Zavid.
Sweet. I'm first going to do telekinetic projectile on a glass shard at the one in front of me.
Mhm.
Why do I always have to roll low?
Hey, still a hit.
Yeah, I rolled a 6 and it hit.
Nice.
All right, 24 piercing as like a
slash.
and then as an action, I'm going to force it to make a fortitude saving throw as I cast harm on it.
Okay, that's Succubus 1, Fortitude, and DC 32. 30, fail.
All right, sweet. So that's gonna be 55 negative damage.
Disgusting.
Yeah, good lord. So wounds open up all over her body. You can see she's not wearing much, so you can see all these starts bleeding.
All of the slashes from the fucking telekinetic projectile just start to proliferate and get worse.
Yeah.
That's it. That's all my actions to just do a
Nasty,
lot of
nasty,
damage to this one
nasty.
lady.
Okay. That brings it to the top of the round. Oh no, that brings it to Ma'at. How is everyone looking? Not super. Oh, I think we lost Eldritch.
Oh,
Oh no. She
Let
doesn't
me
like having this one on her.
go and put us on a quick intermission as we go
Sure.
and do that. So give me 1 sec.
Sure. Hey there. Looks like we're having some power issues over on Khan's side, so I think we were about to stop anyway. So we're just gonna cut it off here and come back probably next week and see where the rest of the labyrinth goes from here. Thanks so much for joining us, and we hope you'll be here next week. Thanks so much, everybody.
Hi there, cuties. Welcome in the bots.